Chapter 1763. Then, everyone moved forward with their own troop. Yi Chun and the others were sent to a place called the Blood Demon City. This place could be considered the front line, as it was less than 500 kilometers away from Demon Abyss City. Yi Chun had not been able to find an opportunity to leave. This was not a good situation for him because a great battle was about to begin. It was inconvenient for him to move around on the demon tribe's side. Everyone, please take a rest first. The Fiend's son will be holding a war conference soon. An expert of the Holy Moon clan said. We understand. Duguming stepped forward and pretended to be very enthusiastic. After the Holy Moon clan's combatants left, Duguming smirked at Yi Chun. Duguhan, who is the deputy commander now? Ah. He was very pleased because this was one of the few opportunities he had to show off in front of Yi Chun. If he did not seize this opportunity, Duguming knew that he would never be able to surpass Yi Chun in this lifetime. I don't have time to bother with a villain who is intoxicated by success. Yi Chun was still thinking about how to leave this place. He did not want to bother with this idiot at all, so he turned around and left. You! Duguming choked, but he was still proud of himself. I knew you would do this because the Saint Moon Devil Sun values my ability. You are jealous. Idiot. Yi Chun responded coldly and proceeded forward. This guy is just jealous of me. Don't blame him. Duguming turned around to look at the crowd and said hypocritically. He knew very well that it was impossible to fight Yi Chun head-on. In the demon tribe's world, strength was king. Now that Yi Chun's strength was unfathomable, he did not dare to fight him head-on. He could only try his best to regain some face. Unable to find a way to leave, Yi Chun went to a secluded place and began to cultivate. He couldn't waste any time and had to focus on improving his cultivation. Only then would he be able to deal with any difficulties. As Yi Chun's control over the demonic qi became more mature, the effectiveness of the immortal demon rotation method increased rapidly. Now, he could even use both the immortal and demonic qi to ordinary people. It was a miracle. With the demonic immortal energy surrounding his body, Yi Chun's cultivation became more refined. Whoosh! He threw out the immortal slaying flying saber and floated in a shadowy area. If there was an accident and a demonic person came to harass him, he would definitely kill them without mercy. Master, someone is coming. Do you want to kill him? The immortal slaying flying saber quickly reported. Yi Chun opened his eyes abruptly and withdrew all of his aura. The demonic energy appeared again. Come back. The immortal slaying flying saber turned into a gust of cold wind and returned to Yi Chun. Duguhan, I can't find you anywhere. What are you doing? The Devil's Son is holding a war conference. Go back immediately. A Holy Shadow Tribe warrior walked over and coldly snorted. This person was Duguming's trusted aide, so he was very hostile toward Yi Chun and did not mince his words at all. However, he had forgotten about Yi Chun's methods. A lowly ant dares to talk to me. Yi Chun's cold gaze swept across. Instantly, sword chi whistled and the sword gleam swept past. It was so fast that the Holy Shadow Tribe warrior could not react at all. With a blood-curdling scream, the man's arm was separated from his body. You. The man fell to the ground and cried out in pain. Yi Chun ignored him and turned to leave. In a large hall, the demon son of the Sacred Moon clan was assigning tasks. Now let me tell you about Demon Abyss City. The Saint Moon Devil Son walked forward and scanned the crowd with a cold expression. Everyone straightened their backs and listened carefully. Demon Abyss City is the front line of the battle. It has already been occupied by human cultivators from the spiritual realm. Currently, there's a great perfection soul formation human cultivator in charge and 3 advanced soul formation cultivators. They're very powerful. Hearing the Saint Moon Devil Son's words, everyone was shocked. They did not expect the people of the spiritual realm to be so powerful. This operation was full of danger. What are you doing? Are you afraid? The Devil's Son was furious and scolded everyone. The surroundings fell silent. No one dared to speak. Humph! How dare you call yourselves warriors of the tribe? Let me tell you, I'll deal with that great perfection soul formation cultivator. The remaining 3 advanced soul formation cultivators will be left to the 4 demon clans. The 4 demon clan deputy commanders had ugly expressions after the powerful order was given. Duguming felt the pressure was immense. Download a book for free forever. Among the 4 demon clans, the strongest was only a Tier 8 demon general while the rest were Tier 5 demon generals. Duguming was only a Tier 3 demon general. It would be difficult for him to fight such a powerful enemy. Seeing that everyone was being submissive and had lost their will to fight, the Saint Moon Devil's Son suddenly stepped forward and said with a fierce look, "Is there a problem?" Duguming and the rest shuddered and said in unison, "No problem." At that moment Yi Chen walked into the hall and stood at the back. The Saint Moon Devil's Son noticed him immediately. How dare he be late? That was disrespectful. However, he did not flare up on the spot. Instead, he continued with the mission. The 5 demon clans will split into 5 teams and attack the Demon Abyss City from 5 different directions. This mission can only be successful. Failure is not allowed. Do you understand? Yes. Everyone shouted. However, he turned to look at everyone and continued speaking. Before that, we need to send someone to infiltrate the Demon Abyss City to investigate the enemy's military deployment and the consumption of various resources. As the saying goes, know yourself and know your enemy, and you will always be victorious. Do you have anyone to recommend? Hearing this, Duguming's eyes darted around. He took a step forward and said, "Duguhan can do it." Everyone looked at Duguming. It was obvious that he recommended Duguhan on purpose because this mission had a slim chance of survival. Duguming smirked. Naturally, he knew that the Saint Moon Devil's Son was targeting Yi Chen. The rest of the demon clans looked at Yi Chen, who was at the back, and smiled gloatingly. This investigation mission was a dead end. The Saint Moon Devil's Son nodded slightly at Duguming. The latter was overjoyed. "Yi Chen, are you willing to investigate?" the Saint Moon Devil's Son asked. Duguming was afraid that Yi Chen would reject the suggestion, so he said immediately, "Duguhan, as the commander, we must obey Lord Devil's Son's orders. If you dare to disobey, you'll be executed on the spot." Hearing that, everyone looked at Yi Chen with playful eyes. Seeing that Yi Chen did not say anything, someone smirked and said, "If you kneel to Lord Devil's Son now and apologize for your rude behavior, perhaps Lord Devil's Son will spare your worthless life." "Keep your worthless life," Yi Chen said coldly to that person. Be ****. That person wanted to harm Yi Chen but was stopped by the Saint Moon Devil's Son. "Yi Chen, do you agree or not?" The Devil's Son locked his cold eyes on Yi Chen and asked again. "Yes, what reason do I have to say no?" Everyone was shocked when they heard that. Did this brat not know that it was a dead end? Yi Chen smirked in his heart. He was worried that he would not have a chance to leave these demons. He did not expect them to give him a way out. "Do you dare to make a military pledge?" "Of course." Yi Chen agreed readily. He made a military pledge to the Devil's Son and left the city that night. To be continued. Chapter 1764. After Yi Chen left, many people looked at his departing figure and could not help but sneer. No one had expected that Yi Chen would agree to such a request so readily. This was a plan by the Holy Moon Clan's Devil Heir to sacrifice Yi Chen, but now it seemed like the Devil Heir was helping Yi Chen. It was very strange. Of course, no one really thought that this was helping Yi Chen because Yi Chen had almost no chance of survival. "This kid is really out of my expectations," the Holy Moon Clan's Devil's Son said. "Lord Devil's Son, is this kid going to desert and not go to the Demon Abyss City? After all, with his ability, it's extremely difficult to sneak into the city." A fighter beside the Holy Moon Clan's Devil Son said. Indeed, I don't think he even has the guts to go near the demon Abyss City. Maybe he'll just watch from afar. Someone sneered. Seeing so many people mocking Yi Chen, Duguming was very happy. Finally, he could see Yi Chen fall into the abyss. Unfortunately, Yi Chen was not here and could not hear the mockery. Don't worry. The demonic tribe army is here. The demon lord and the demon king are both here. If Dugurhan doesn't do his best and wants to desert, he'll die no matter where he is. Once I give the order, he must follow it if he wants to live. The Holy Moon Clan's Devil Son said with a sneer. Lord Devil Son is right. This kid can only follow orders. He can't go to the human tribe. That's courting death. That's right. Let's see what this kid can do. It's good to get some information. Everyone expressed their opinions, but the Holy Moon Clan's Devil Son did not speak. He only looked at the direction Yi Chen left with interest. Seeing this, everyone was confused. Did the Devil Son have other plans? He's indeed just a sacrificial pawn. Let him play his final role. The Holy Moon Clan's Devil Son's eyes suddenly glowed coldly. Everyone was shocked. Send a message to the demon Abyss City immediately. Say that Dugurhan of the Holy Shadow Clan has infiltrated the demon Abyss City. Hearing this order, everyone was shocked. This order was much crueler than the previous one. It was obvious that they wanted to sell Yi Chen out and use him as cannon fodder. Seeing everyone's shocked expressions, the demon heir of the Holy Moon race sneered in disdain. Only by doing this can we cause chaos among the human cultivators. Then, we will have a good opportunity to attack. As for sacrificing Dugurhan, what's the big deal? Many of the devil warriors swallowed their saliva, their hearts thumping in fear. Only Duguming mustered up the courage to step forward and say, Sir Devil Son is wise. This person is arrogant and unruly. He should be taught a lesson like this. Scram! The Saint Moon Devil Son shouted coldly, scaring Duguming away. Yi Chen traveled through the night, using all sorts of movement techniques along the way. He was extremely fast. He was carrying the Saint Moon Devil Son's orders, so his journey was very smooth. No one stopped him. Yi Chen stopped after traveling for more than 1,000 miles. That's Demon Abyss City. His eyes stared coldly in front of him, as sparks of fire entered his eyes. At this moment, Devil Abyss City was heavily guarded. Many low-level human cultivators were patrolling outside the city. They were very vigilant, not giving the devil race any chance to infiltrate. On top of the city tower, there was a formation light screen flowing. Immortal demon rotation, mysterious method. Yi Chen found a relatively secluded place and unleashed the divine method. Suddenly, light flowed around his body. All sorts of scales from the devil race began to fall off. Subsequently, the delicate skin of a human cultivator appeared. His face also changed rapidly. It was very magical. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the last light bloomed, Yi Chen returned to his original appearance. Although he had returned to his original appearance, it was not easy to enter Devil Abyss City because it was difficult to pass through the formation and the guards. I can't waste time. This is the only way. Yi Chen opened his eyes. His body was filled with spiritual energy. The strength of his foundation was enough to shock a void refinement powerhouse. His body trembled. 5 rays of light flowed around him, attracting the light from the sky. Major 5 elemental restriction breaking technique. Countless electric sparks exploded from Yi Chen's body and went straight for the Devil Abyss City's defense formation. When the electric sparks came into contact with the formation, they began to cancel each other out with the formation. Yi Chen immersed himself in controlling the intensity of the major 5 elemental restriction breaking technique. He did not want to alarm the guards. He wanted to concentrate the energy into one point to break through the formation. The 5 elemental power flowed endlessly. Yi Chen concentrated this energy on the tip of his finger. Break! He suddenly pointed, and the super-strong 5-elemental power instantly lost its limit. The energy density suddenly soared. Boom! There was a shocking explosion. Although the energy was extremely strong, the sound was not loud. It was all under Yi Chen's control. Among the young cultivators, only Yi Chen could have such exquisite control of energy. Kacha, kacha, kacha! An opening appeared in the formation, and Yi Chen flew in. The inside of Devil Abyss City was very quiet. Only the guards on the city wall patrolled to see if there were any demon spies entering. Who's there? Just as Yi Chen was about to enter, a voice suddenly came from behind. Yi Chen did not turn around immediately. The person approached slowly, very cautiously. He sensed that the person's strength was at the nascent soul stage, far weaker than him. Emperor Finger! Yi Chen suddenly turned around and pointed his finger. Spiritual energy revolved behind the person. When the finger touched the person's neck, the person fainted. Soul Finger! Yi Chen arrived next to the man quickly and tapped between his brows. The man stood up as if he was sleepwalking. Who are you? I am the son of Lord God Ling Yun of Demon Abyss City. Who is Sir God Ling Yun? Spirit Realm, direct disciple of the Cloud Mountain sect. Yi Chen picked him up quickly and unleashed the true Spirit 9 transformation to transform into the cultivator. He quickly found the location of the city lord's mansion and entered. In the hall, Sir God Ling Yun was discussing with everyone about countermeasures. Sir God Ling Yun frowned and said, I heard that the demon race sent the Holy Moon race, the Shengtua race, and 5 other demon races to attack our demon Abyss City. The leader is the Holy Moon race's demon son. The Holy Moon race is one of the 3 major races of the demon race. Moreover, in the Holy Shadow clan, there is a brat named Duguhan whose strength has advanced by leaps and bounds recently. He cannot be underestimated, said an expert. Everyone was worried when they heard that. Divine Lord, when will the higher-ups send reinforcements? Difficult. I heard that the Patriarch of Skyfall brought people to the demon race's rear and was trapped by the 5 demon lords. No one knows if he's alive or dead. Hearing what the Divine Lord said, everyone lost the will to fight. Sigh, this battle was caused by the Patriarch of Skyfall. Aren't we wronged because of a woman? Who do you think you are? How dare you talk about the Patriarch like that? You. Just as they were arguing, the Divine Lord said angrily, Do you still have the mood to argue at a time like this? Dong, dong, dong. Suddenly, an alarm sounded outside. A human guard came in and said anxiously, Latest news, a demon sun scout has entered Demon Abyss City. Chapter 1765. The news shocked everyone present. Sir God Ling Yun and the others soared into the sky and dashed out of the house. Yi Chen remained hidden. A cold gleam flashed in his eyes when he heard the news. He had used a secret skill to hide himself, and he definitely hadn't been exposed. Otherwise, with Sir God Ling Yun's cultivation, he would have discovered him long ago. However, now that the guards of Demon Abyss City had come to report this, it was clear that someone was behind all of this. Interesting. The corner of Yi Chen's lips curled up slightly. He did not have to guess to know who was behind this. Since you're so heartless, don't blame me for being unjust. He sneered, turned around, and rushed out of the city. If he did not take revenge, he would not be Yi Chen. He traveled through the night to Demon Abyss City and then returned. To regular people, this was a risky move. However, to Yi Chen, this was what he should do. Yi Chen arrived outside the Blood Demon City. Outside the city, there were a lot of demon warriors marching. It was clear that they were already planning to attack Demon Abyss City. He had become a sacrificial pawn thrown out by the Holy Moon Demon Sun. He wanted to rely on him to disrupt the defense of Demon Abyss City and let the demon race army enter. What a good plan! Unfortunately, you shouldn't have used it on me. Yi Chen's heart was filled with the desire for revenge. He was swift and unstoppable. Da, da, da. A series of footsteps could be heard. Not only did Yi Chen not hide himself, but he also stepped forward directly. Moreover, he did not use the true Spirit 9 transformation disguise. He looked exactly like himself. You are Chi. Before the person walking in front could say anything, the immortal slaying flying saber, Lung Feng, made a mistake. The saber light dripped with blood, and a small team was directly wiped out. Yi Chen advanced triumphantly and charged into the Blood Demon City. What happened? A human cultivator killed his way into Blood Demon City. He is very strong. Many of the demonic soldiers were killed. What? The people of the Holy Camel Clan all came out of the city to capture the intruder. It's him. He's one of the human cultivators that the Holy Camel Clan has gathered. As soon as they left the camp, they saw Yi Chen coming toward them with a murderous aura. They immediately recognized Yi Chen. Nobody would think of Duguhan when they saw Yi Chen. Catch him! One of the leaders shouted. So. A few demon warriors charged toward Yi Chen. Die! Yi Chen roared furiously. A demonic light bloomed between his brows, and the night demon battle armor was on his body. Its might was unstoppable. Immortal slaying flying saber. After retrieving the flying dagger, Yi Chen activated his celestial technique. The immortal slaying flying dagger cooperated seamlessly and transformed into a pair of sharp claws that were embedded directly into the bones of Yi Chen's hands. Whoosh whoosh. As two crisp sounds were heard, sharp claws that looked like wolverines appeared on Yi Chen's fingers. He used the flying dagger as if he was moving his arms and fingers. Kill! Yi Chen's eyes emitted a murderous gleam as he entered a berserk state. The demon tribe must pay the price for treating him this way. So. Yi Chen moved in a flash and performed the 9th Heaven U step. It was a peerlessly exquisite movement technique. As he turned, he was like a dragon soaring in the sky. The 5 of them could get close to him. I'll show you what true slaughter looks like. On both of his hands, sharp claws gleamed with a cold gleam. Yi Chen used his claws to unleash a saber technique divine ability. It was a consummate technique that transcended the imagination of mortals. Chi. He waved his sharp claws and sword shadows appeared. He had the demeanor of a grandmaster. The blood of the demon tribe army was splattered in the thousands. Such a sensational feast of slaughter soon alerted the entire demon tribe army. This person is too powerful. Inform the Devil's Son immediately. Duguming originally wanted to kill Yi Chen to earn a great merit. However, when he saw Yi Chen's unparalleled slaughter, charging into the encirclement instead of escaping, he immediately ran back. The demon warriors at the back quickly reported to the Holy Moon Devil's Son. This was his base camp. Who dares to break into my blood demon city? The sound of thunder shook the space. Demonic energy exploded, sending countless corpses flying. The Holy Moon Clan's Devil's Son appeared. You're the human cultivator wanted by the Holy Camel tribe. He looked at Yi Chen coldly. It's me, Yi Chen. Seeing that his enemy was before him, Yi Chen did not need to say anything else. Spiritual energy surrounded his body, and his foundation was like rolling waves, growing and multiplying endlessly. Kill! You! The Holy Moon Clan's Devil's Son still wanted to pretend, but Yi Chen did not give him the chance. I'm the Devil's Son of the Holy Moon Clan, one of the 3 major demon tribes. How dare you look down on me? I'll make you regret it. You've struggled too much. I'm sick of it. Yi Chen's eyes were extremely cold. He did not even look like a human cultivator. Seeing such an aura, Duguming and the rest did not dare to step forward anymore. They all retreated, leaving the battlefield to the Holy Moon Clan's Devil's Son. Damn it! The Holy Moon Clan's Devil's Son was furious. A crescent-shaped demonic blade suddenly appeared in his hand. There were many demonic patterns on it. As long as he channeled demonic energy, He could activate the demonic patterns and double his strength. This was what the Devil Son relied on to kill Yi Chen. The Devil Son's entire body surged with demonic energy and infused it into the demonic blade. Instantly, the demonic energy soared into the sky and attacked Yi Chen like a poisonous python. Kill! Yi Chen did not defend at all. Like a ferocious beast, he went straight for the Holy Moon Clan's Devil Son. How is this possible? The Devil Son was shocked. His attack was so powerful. Did the other party want to perish together? He did not know that Yi Chen did not want to perish together. It was because he was wearing the night demon armor. He was not afraid at all. Rumble! The poisonous python attacked him. Yi Chen's body paused slightly. This made him furious. Devil Son? You're just like an ant. Yi Chen activated his ancient god body. Instantly, the 5 elements' true energy surged endlessly like the sea. At that moment, Yi Chen's body was like a dragon coming out of the abyss. He was unstoppable. No! The Holy Moon Clan's Devil Son revealed the most horrified expression. He made a final, unwilling struggle. Then, the sharp claws and the blade gleamed, and blood splattered everywhere. Swoosh! Thud! A bloody wound appeared on the Holy Moon Clan's Devil Son's throat. Then, his head fell to the ground. Duguming was so scared that he peed his pants. This was the Holy Moon Clan's Devil Son. Who was he before the Devil Son? However, who was the Devil Son before Yi Chen? Based on this reasoning, he was less than an ant before Yi Chen. You treacherous demon dwellers, die! The dragon roared furiously, shaking the surroundings. Yi Chen crushed everything and killed his way into the Blood Demon City's spiritual energy mine. That was his ultimate goal. Attack, attack! Many demon warriors stood beside Yi Chen, but no one dared to move. Such trash, get out of my way! Yi Chen swept his claws and the blade gleamed. In the blink of an eye, the heads of the 3 demon warriors fell to the ground. Blood dyed the path ahead red. The violent demons were like grass in front of an even more violent person. After finding the mine, Yi Chen activated his immortal and demonic power. With the support of the devouring demonic weave, he absorbed the spiritual energy wildly. Where is he? Lord Devil King, he's over there. He's devouring the mine. D***eminent. The Devil King had arrived. Many demons were overjoyed, thinking that their savior had arrived. HF. Chapter 1766. The Lord Devil King is here. Let's kill this human brat. Seeing the Devil King's arrival, Duguming could not hide the joy on his face. He thought that he was saved this time. He would definitely be able to kill that human cultivator. Who dares to devour the Blood Demon City's load? Die. The Devil King's demonic might was impressive. His entire body was shrouded in dark energy. Like a ferocious black tiger, he charged into the load. Dong, dong, dong. Every step he took shook the earth. Every step he took was filled with demonic energy. It was incomparably violent. Yi Chen was currently absorbing the power of the load, so he was not afraid at all. Ah! He roared. The Tier 6 demonic rune soared again, turning into the Tier 8 devouring demonic rune. This way, the devouring speed changed qualitatively. In addition to his already terrifying talent, the entire load flowed into Quafu's mouth like a river. Rumble! The meridians in Yi Chen's body were like dragons awakening, constantly rumbling. The demon warriors outside panicked when they heard this, not daring to advance anymore. Trash, get out of my way! The Devil King sent dozens of demon warriors flying and advanced by himself. Duguming and the rest followed behind, waiting for a good show. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, the earth shook and the surrounding space shook rapidly. The stone walls of the cave kept shattering. Countless rocks flew into the air. Many demon warriors were not prepared and were injured by the rock. Some even had their throats pierced and died on the spot. What's going on? The demon lord's brow creased as he sensed an unprecedented strength. Dong dong dong. This time, it was Yi Chen's turn to walk out. Every step he took left a fiery footprint. Such a majestic posture made the Devil King stop advancing. "You're the wanted criminal?" the Devil King asked. "You demons are sinister and cunning. You deserve to die." Yi Chen did not answer his question. Instead, he ordered them to be killed. D****, you killed your way into the Blood Demon City alone. Do you think you can leave? Leave? Ha! Yi Chen laughed maniacally. His aura was released. He was already a beginner void refinement powerhouse. Feeling this immense power, the demon lord felt his heart tremble. The other party's foundation was actually not beneath his, and it was even above his. He did not dare to be careless against such an opponent. MCMAU, Dark Tiger. Demonic chi surged all over the demonic monarch's body. Amidst his shock, the shadow of a dark tiger appeared behind him. Seeing this scene, the devil warriors all retreated. This was the ultimate divine ability of the devil monarch. Once they touched it, they would die without a burial. "Everyone, don't panic. This kid is dead for sure," Duguming said to the crowd. "That's right. This is the Dark Tiger Demon Lord's strongest divine ability. Once it's used, the enemy will die. We just have to watch." "That's great. We'll be able to see this crazy brat die in front of our eyes. Let's retreat and wait for this kid to roar. Then we'll devour him." Many of the demonic dwellers retreated to a safe distance. Kill. The Dark Tiger Demon Lord unleashed a powerful demonic aura. It transformed into a dark tiger and charged at Yi Chen. Boom. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The ground shook and the surrounding rocks shattered, turning into a windstorm that attacked Yi Chen along with the Dark Tiger Demon Lord. "You dare to call yourself the Demon Lord with just this bit of ability?" Yi Chen opened his eyes and activated his golden pupil flame. Flames burned in his eyes and the demonic chi dared not approach him. 33 days created Divine Fist, Cloud Kick. He soared to the heavens and looked down on the earth. Yi Chen was like a god descending to the mortal world. His body was covered in flames. The immortal slaying flying saber shifted again and turned into a metal armor that covered Yi Chen's feet. Kill. With a roar, Yi Chen descended from the sky and charged at the Dark Tiger Demon Lord. "Go to hell." The Dark Tiger Demon Lord stood up suddenly and opened his mouth, revealing his sharp fangs. He charged at Yi Chen. Boom. Yi Chen was fast and kicked the Dark Tiger Demon Lord's head. Boom. The Dark Tiger Demon Lord's head shook violently. He lost consciousness and almost fainted. Ugh! He could not help but scream as he lost his balance. It was a fatal moment. Samadhi True Fire, Spirit Snatching Life Extinguishing Finger. With telepathy, the immortal slaying flying saber changed its form again. It turned into the sharpest claw glove and put it on Yi Chen's right hand. True fire burns heaven, steel finger takes life. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Yi Chen's body was surrounded by flames. His eyes were locked on the Dark Tiger Demon Lord's head as he descended. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. He clenched his fingers and demonic blood splattered. Ah! The Dark Tiger Demon Lord let out a final scream and died on the spot. Devour! The Demon Lord's immense demonic energy turned into a dark tiger and tried to escape. Yi Chen stretched out his palm. The devouring demonic runes spun in his palm and the dark tiger's power was instantly absorbed. The Demon Lord is dead. Yi Chen killing the Demon Lord was too shocking. Everyone was in a panic and fled in all directions. Phew! After the violent battle, Yi Chen let out a long breath. The blood in his body calmed down slightly. If I alert the Demon King, I'm afraid I'll be in danger. I'll act according to the situation. Yi Chen disappeared from where he was in a flash. After a while, Duguhan appeared. He quickly returned to Blood Demon City, his body covered in blood. At this time, Duguming, Duguluo, and the rest were thinking of ways to deal with these things. Boom! A demon lord arrived. Seeing Duguming and the rest panicking, he asked angrily what happened. Duguming did not dare to hide anything and told the demon lord the truth. "You're all useless. A puny human cultivator could absorb the mine in my blood demon city and leave safely?" The demon lord was furious and scolded Duguming and the rest. Duguming did not dare to say anything else. He could only lower his head and admit his guilt. Thud, thud, thud. Suddenly Yi Chen walked into everyone's sight. "Duger Han!" A demon warrior shouted. "It's me. I was investigating the demon abyss city and was attacked by human cultivators. If I didn't run fast enough, I would have been dead." Yi Chen pretended to be in great pain. Even his arm drooped as if it was broken. "You useless thing! How dare you come back without any information?" Duguming scolded. "Be ****, you can't even take a mine and you dare to scold others. Reflect on yourself," the demon warrior said angrily. "Yes, yes." Duguming and the rest lowered their heads and said yes. The demon lord left. Duguming was very disappointed because Yi Chen came back alive. However, he did not doubt that the person who devoured the mine was Yi Chen himself. The news of Yi Chen breaking into the demon city alone, killing the demon lord, and devouring the spirit mine spread quickly. Many demon warriors knew that there was a human cultivator with a cultivation base of beginner void refinement stage, who sneaked into the demon tribe's spiritual land and devoured the spirit mine. He even killed the holy moon sun. This news even spread to the demon abyss city. "Among us spirit stage cultivators, is there someone called Yi Chen?" the godly lord asked. "We don't know." Everyone said they did not know. "This fellow Yi has such strength and courage. I'm afraid he's the true disciple of one of the heaven trampling sect," someone said. The godly lord nodded slightly. He could only guess so. In the Blood Demon City, Yi Chen's game continued. HF. Chapter 1767. After killing the Holy Moon Clan's demon son and the Holy Nether Clan's demon lord, Yi Chen's name spread throughout the demon city. Everyone knew of his existence, and even forced the Holy Moon Clan to send the 3 demon lords to guard the city to prevent Yi Chen from ruining their plans. There were portraits of Yi Chen's wanted posters everywhere in the city. The descriptions on them were extremely terrifying, describing him as a devil even more terrifying than the demon tribe. This kind of description gave Yi Chen enough face. After all, killing the demon lord was too shocking. As the sacred war approached, the 3 demon lords gathered everyone. In the conference hall, the 3 sat on the 3 seats at the front. Below them were the people from the various demon tribe forces. "Everyone, the demon abyss city has not been taken down yet. This is a huge blow to our overall plan. We must attack decisively. Yes, since we are here, we cannot delay the attack on the demon abyss city anymore. We must take down the demon abyss city immediately. There cannot be any mistakes." The 3 demon monarchs spoke, and everyone expressed their agreement without exception. "Lord Demon Lord, what should we do?" a powerhouse asked. Wasn't there someone called Duguhan who investigated the demon abyss city? Come out and tell us," one of the demon lords said. "Duguhan, hurry up and report the situation," Duguming yelled at the side. Yi Chen glanced at Duguming coldly and walked up. "You are Duguhan?" the demon lord asked. "Yes. I heard that you entered the demon abyss city and came back injured. If you can tell us the situation of the demon abyss city, it will be considered a meritorious service." Hearing this, Yi Fan nodded slightly. "The situation of the demon abyss city is extremely complicated. The human tribe's defense is very tight and there are all kinds of checkpoints. I too, Yi Chen, purposely described the human tribe's defense as complicated, tight, and extremely strong to suppress the demon tribe's determination to attack." All right. Suddenly, the demon lord yelled in displeasure. Yi Chen stopped and stood where he was. Aren't you exaggerating? A demon lord said. Lord Demon Lord, I saw it with my own eyes. It's really not an exaggeration, Yifan said. Because of this, many demons fell into a panic. They didn't know that Demon Abyss City's defenses were so strong. The three great demon lords stared at Yi Chen at the same time. This was not the answer they wanted. Initially, they wanted Yi Chen to appease the hearts of the crowd and attack immediately. However, now that they heard that the human tribe was so powerful, they had other ideas. Once the morale of the army was shaken, things would be difficult to handle. Returning with injuries and only bringing back this little information? How stupid! A demon lord released his aura and suppressed Yi Chen. He was very dissatisfied with Yi Chen's explanation and was about to attack. Yi Chen frowned. He gathered energy in his body and was ready to fight the enemy at any time. If the other party really dared to make a move, he would just kill his way out. Boom! At this moment, dark clouds suddenly covered the sky, and a powerful pressure swept over, causing everyone to look up. The three demon lords got up and hurried outside to welcome him. Lord Demon King has arrived, we have failed to welcome you. The three of them bowed, and the people behind them followed suit. The might of the Demon Emperor was too overwhelming. Yi Chen stood at the side and watched. The Demon Emperor must have an order to give. The Patriarch of Skyfall and the others have escaped from the battlefield in the rear of our tribe. The situation in the sealed land is dangerous, so we need to deploy a large number of people to guard the seal. You need to help too. The Demon Emperor spoke and everyone listened. We will obey the Demon Emperor's orders, the three demon lords said. The three of you immediately mobilize people. I have important matters to attend to, so I'll be leaving first. Yes. The three of them bowed. The dark clouds swept the 9 heavens, and the Demon Emperor's figure disappeared into the dark clouds. They turned around and came before the crowd. Scanning the entire army, the three of them began to appoint people. Holy Sun Clan, Holy Star Clan, Holy Shadow Clan, Holy Hunchback Clan, all of you go to the sealed land and guard the seal. The Demon Lord said. Yes. The clans that were selected all sent out powerhouses to accept the order. I wonder what happened for the Demon Emperor to descend and give orders? A powerhouse asked curiously. At this time, the Holy Sun Clan's demon son walked out and explained to everyone. I heard that human cultivators broke into our demon tribe's sacred land and wanted to destroy the Genesis Triumph waterfall. Genesis Triumph waterfall? What's that? Someone asked doubtfully. The Genesis Triumph waterfall is an important passage for our demon tribe. It condenses limitless water elemental energy and has been nurtured for many years. It has great strategic value for our demon tribe. Once it is lost, it could cause serious consequences. This is the reason why the Demon Emperor descended, the Holy Sun Clan's demon son said. I see. Everyone nodded slightly. Only Yi Chen was extremely excited. Yi Chen's heart was in turmoil. He had reached the final stage of cultivating the ancient god body, and what he lacked was water elemental energy. This mission to go to the Genesis Triumph waterfall was his best chance. Since the demon tribe has given me such a gift, I'll seem useless if I don't accept it. Yi Chen was secretly delighted and followed the crowd. The three demon lords led everyone to the square where all kinds of earth demons were stirring. All of you, head to the Genesis Triumph waterfall. No mistake. Yes. Everyone found a suitable earth demon beast and rode it to ascend. The earth demons flew at high speed. It took 6 hours for everyone to see the scene behind the demon tribe. Rumble. Huge waves swept out and hit the sky. Demonic energy surged and everyone could not help but sigh. As far as the eye could see, the endless sponge was condensed from demonic energy. The demonic might was monstrous and extremely evil. It was as if countless vengeful spirits were roaring. Those who did not have a strong foundation might even be attracted by their souls and fall into it, unable to extricate themselves. When everyone saw this ocean, they were all shaken to the core. They tightly gripped their demonic beasts, afraid that they would fall into the ocean. This is the sacred ocean of our demon tribe, the demonic source ocean. A powerhouse came out and said to everyone, "This is the demonic source ocean. It's spectacular. This is the first time we've seen such a strange scene. It's too powerful. With this ocean here, how would human cultivators dare to come?" Everyone was amazed by the power of the demonic source ocean, their hearts filled with emotions. That's right. This demonic source ocean has the purest and most vigorous demonic energy. If human cultivators get drunk in it, they'll turn into pus and blood in no time. Amazing, amazing! Just as everyone was marveling at the power of the demonic source ocean, the sky was filled with wind and clouds again. A powerful aura suppressed everyone's hearts. Another demon emperor had arrived. This is Demon Emperor Hantion. Everyone, pay your respects. Yes. Everyone paid their respects to the demon emperor. Everyone, follow me into the demonic source ocean. Yes. Under Demon Emperor Hantion's lead, everyone entered the demonic source ocean. Chapter 1768. Under the lead of the demon king Hantion, everyone entered the demon source sea. Kill! Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, the sound of battle came from afar. The scene was terrifying. Everyone was shocked. They did not expect the situation in the demon source sea to be so tense. They followed the demon king and went deeper. The deeper they went, the more Yi Chun felt the demonic energy and the heavy pressure. If not for the protection of the immortal demon rotation, Yi Chun would not be able to move forward so smoothly. Now, he even had a shocking idea. He would secretly absorb the demonic energy around him to improve the foundation of demonic cultivation. The demon source sea, as the name suggested, was the source of demonic energy. The demonic energy here had not been polluted by the outside world and was the purest of demonic energy. It was extremely beneficial to the cultivation of demonic cultivation. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Yi Chun released the Tier 8 devouring demonic rune. A black hole appeared in his palm, and the surrounding demonic energy quickly gathered in his palm. This way, not only did the demonic energy not hinder Yi Chun, but it helped him instead. The other demons did not expect such a clever move. Yi Chun followed the demon king. The deeper he went, the more comfortable he felt because he could absorb more demonic energy. Most people would not be able to withstand such a concentration of demonic ability, even if they were from the demon clan. However, Yi Chun had the ancient god body, which was a heavenly origin 5 elements body. Although he still lacked the water element lineage, he was still superior to others. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The vast demonic energy entered Yi Chun's body, making his demonic cultivation even purer and more powerful. The seal is in front, the demon king Hantion suddenly said. Everyone looked over. The so-called demon tribe seal was actually a huge eye of the sea. The terrifying battle and killing that came from before were coming from the eye of the sea. At a glance, the eye of the sea was surrounded by demon tribe runes. These runes were attached to the formation and were extremely powerful. Everyone, contribute your demonic energy to maintain the stability of the seal, the demon king Hantion ordered. Everyone stepped forward and released their demonic energy. The devil heirs of the Holy Sun clan and the Holy Star clan were the first to act. Instantly, demonic energy poured in and produced an earth-shattering sound. The two were proud. The combatants of the other clans saw this scene and stepped forward, contributing their power. They did not want the credit to be taken by others. Boom! At that moment, the battle cries from the sea eye became even more intense. Powerful spiritual energy and devil energy surged, giving everyone a great deal of pressure. Don't retreat. Otherwise we'll kill you. Demon Emperor Hantion's demonic aura surged as he scolded the crowd. Yes. Everyone had no choice but to resist. Zzz. Boundless mana flowed into the sea, but the process was extremely taxing on everyone. At this moment, many people's faces were filled with pain. Only the two demon heirs of the Holy Sun Clan and the Holy Star Clan were still holding on. They were even competing with each other, unwilling to submit to each other. But as time passed, the two of them gradually felt that their strength was not enough. Only one person was at ease. This person was none other than Yi Chen. He was absorbing Pandora demon energy while releasing a small amount of Pandora demon energy at the same time. Everyone else was exhausted, but Yi Chen treated it like a game. Seeing this scene, some experts were puzzled. We're all exhausted. Is Duguhan of the Holy Shadow Tribe really that powerful? He's completely fine? Everyone was shocked when they heard this. They all looked in Yi Chen's direction and found that Yi Chen was indeed at ease. However, the Pandora demon energy he was pouring in was much more than the average person. Duguhan, what method did you use to be so relaxed? A Holy Camel Clan expert asked in dissatisfaction. Say it, don't try to be alone. Yes, say it. The other experts looked at Yi Chen and asked coldly. I'm just a little stronger than you guys. What's there to be confused about? Yi Chen did not care and continued with his work. At this time, the two demon heirs of the Holy Star Clan and the Holy Sun Clan also noticed Yi Chen. They turned to look at Yi Chen and their hearts trembled. They could sense that Yi Chen's Pandora demon energy was boundless, almost like an ocean. It was so vigorous that it was unimaginable. How did this person do it? The Holy Star Clan's demon heir asked. I don't know either, but we're both exhausted and this person is still so relaxed. It's indeed shocking. The Holy Sun Clan's demon heir said. Hearing the two demon heirs say this, everyone was even more shocked. What was going on with Duguhan? How was he so powerful? This phenomenon also alarmed the demon king Han Tian. He was very surprised. He looked at Yi Chen carefully and did not find anything wrong. However, releasing such a vast Pandora demon energy gave people a strange feeling. You're Duguhan? The demon king asked. Yes. Yi Chen said. How did you cultivate with such a foundation? I don't have any foundation. Anyone can learn and train hard. Hearing this, the demon king Han Tian's eyes turned cold. Everyone looked at Yi Chen, wanting to see how the demon king would punish him. Dugu Ming sneered in his heart. He had targeted Yi Chen many times and failed. This time, he wanted to see how Yi Chen would die. The demon king walked toward Yi Chen and raised his claws high, ready to attack. Yi Chen gathered all the demonic energy in his palm. As long as the other party dared to attack, he would kill him without mercy. Rumble. Just as the demon king was about to attack Yi Chen, a violent fluctuation came from the eye of the sea. Vigorous spiritual energy and Pandora demon energy exploded at the same time, breaking the seal on the spot. Remnant of the demon clan, die. Humans, go to hell. However, the battle cries from the eye of the sea shook the sky. A human almighty and a demon general came out and fought in the sky. Spiritual energy soared into the sky and Pandora demon energy shook the earth. In an instant, the wind and clouds moved like lightning, the sun and moon lost their light, and the stars scattered. The entire space shook continuously. The water of the demonic source sea was drawn like a raging dragon swallowing. There was no way to stop it. Boom, boom, boom. Violent energy kept colliding in this space. Rocks crumbled and waves spread for thousands of miles. Such a shocking scene shocked everyone. 3 human almighties and 5 demon masters were fighting against a body integration combatant. It was the first time for many people to see a battle of this level. The vigorous vibrations affected everyone. Dugu Ming and the rest fainted on the spot. Seeing this, Yi Chen pretended to vomit blood and quickly retreated using the vibrations. Just when the situation was chaotic, Yi Chen retreated. 5 elements power. Yi Chen released the 5 elements power. The 5 elements supported each other and guided him to the Yuan Cha sacred waterfall. Thump, thump, thump. Endless Pandora demon energy poured down from the cliff like stars falling from the sky. The vigorous power suppressed the universe and formed an abyss when it landed. Just by approaching, Yi Chen could feel that the water formed by the infinite Pandora demon energy contained the most powerful water element power. This was the last missing element of the ancient god body that he was looking for. Chapter 1769. Yi Chen was shocked to see such a shocking waterfall. After searching for a long time, he had finally found a creation that was suitable for him. He slowly approached the origin which sacred waterfall and discovered that the demonic chi here was much stronger than the Ci. This might even be the true core of the demonic source C. The demon race has 9 demon masters. 4 of them are at the front lines, and the other 5 are currently fighting with the human race's mighty figures. Then the origin which sacred waterfall definitely doesn't have a demon master guarding it. Yi Chen calculated in his heart. As long as there was no demon lord, no one could stop him. He released his spiritual energy and hid in the surrounding environment. Although it couldn't last long, it was enough for him to observe. In the distance, he immediately saw 2 gatekeepers in front of the Yuan Cha sacred waterfall. They were both 9th-rank devil generals. Yi Chen walked straight over. The duo stopped him immediately when they saw him. Who is it? This is the devil race's forbidden area, leave immediately. Otherwise, kill without mercy. The 2 of them shouted at Yi Chen at the same time. I am. Yi Chen walked forward and pretended to introduce himself. Then, the immortal slaying flying saber flashed in his hand. Chi. 2 streaks of blood streaked across the sky. Then, the 2 devil experts collapsed to the ground. Master, how's our speed this time? I'll make do. Yi Chen smiled lightly and flew toward the origin which sacred waterfall. He did not have much time, so he must not hesitate. Upon entering the interior of the origin which sacred waterfall, Yi Chen discovered that it was a completely different world. Yi Chen felt a sense of tranquility, which was different from the nature of demonic chi release. Yi Chen unleashed a massive amount of Pandora demon energy, which flowed through every inch of the surrounding space, rapidly searching for the water essence. Although the surrounding demonic chi was pure, it contained multiple attributes, which made it a little difficult for Yi Chen to search for it. However, Yi Chen had been cultivating demonic techniques for a while now, and his demonic techniques had become more refined. Relying on his superb adaptability and the immortal demon rotation celestial technique, he had become more adept at controlling his demonic chi gradually. He was able to control his demonic chi with ease. Zzz. Mana filled the entire space, constantly merging with the mana in the surroundings. So. After a few rounds, the mana finally found the source of the anomaly. Very good. Yi Chen flew out and went straight to the place where the Pandora demon ability had brought back the information. This is the essence of the origin which sacred waterfall. The surrounding Pandora demon energy soared into the sky and a dark light flickered. In a secret cave in the primordial holy waterfall, Yi Chen found the water elemental essence that he had been longing for, the primordial holy marrow. The origin which holy marrow was formed from the accumulation of demonic ability essence over an unknown period of time. It contained extremely powerful demonic ability essence and water essence. The latter was what Yi Chen wanted the most. Zzz. The holy marrow emitted a bright light that illuminated the surroundings. The surrounding magic energy seemed to have received a command, and they all rushed toward the holy marrow. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold as he responded cautiously. You want to fight against me? That's your biggest mistake. The Tier 8 devouring Mageweth began to absorb the Pandora energy in Yi Chen's body. This time, Yi Chen was absorbing Pandora demon energy from the infinite land. He wanted to reach the limits of the ancient divine body. Even if one of the 5 elements was missing and incomplete, The ancient god physique was an extremely powerful cultivation system derived from the Panga godhead. This little bit of Pandora demon ability did not pose any difficulty to Yi Chen. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Endless Pandora demon energy poured into Yi Chen's body. This was something that countless demon tribe combatants dreamed of but could not obtain in their lifetime. However, in front of Yi Chen, it was like drinking water, gurgling as he absorbed it clean. Moreover, this Pandora demon energy had been purified by the holy marrow and was incomparably pure. The energy density was 100 times, 1,000 times higher than ordinary Pandora demon energy. In other words, as long as his body could withstand it, Yi Chen would be cultivating demonic techniques at a speed that was 100 times, or even 1,000 times higher. Such a heaven-sent opportunity was simply invincible. Rumble. Soon, Yi Chen's body began to tremble continuously. This was the wild characteristic of the Pandora demon energy. It rampaged through his meridians. Such terrifying power was something that even a great perfection void refinement cultivator could not resist. However, before the ancient god physique, any energy that wanted to destroy Yi Chen's body would be forcibly absorbed and refined. With a loud roar, Yi Chen broke through the limit and completed the Tier 9 Devouring Mageweth. Roar. The Devouring Mageweth seemed to have a life of its own. It was completely different from when it was Tier 8. This was a qualitative change. That's it. Yi Chen was overjoyed. The Devouring Mageweth had undergone a qualitative change. Now, his cultivation speed was like adding wings to a tiger. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Endless Pandora demon energy was absorbed by Yi Chen, causing the holy marrow to tremble rapidly. Now that you know how powerful I am, why don't you surrender? Yi Chen stretched out his palm. The dark Mageweth controlled the absorption whirlpool and guided the holy marrow toward Yi Chen. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh! Suddenly, a gust of wind entered Yi Chen's ears. Yi Chen's body trembled and he suddenly turned around. The person before him was Demon King Han Tian. Dugu Han, are you trying to rebel? Demon King Han Tian flew over and questioned. Dugu Han. Yi Chen smiled coldly. How can a piece of trash from the demon clan be compared to me? I'm not him. The next moment, with a rumbling sound, Yi Chen's true qi exploded and the human spiritual energy filled the entire place. You're a human? Demon King Han Tian was shocked and attacked angrily. Ha ha ha, little Demon King, how dare you attack me? You're seeking death. True qi surged throughout Yi Chen's body. At this moment, the Pandora demon energy had completely transformed into spiritual energy. Despicable human spy, die. Demon King Han Tian was not someone easy to deal with. The Pandora demon energy exploded from his body and attacked. Instantly, the entire space shook violently. The Pandora demon energy spread in all directions. Countless rocks flew up from the Pandora demon energy and attacked Yi Chen. Useless move. With a cold shout, Yi Fan formed a seal and attacked. Diamond Seal. As the Diamond Seal attacked, the shadow of a guardian diamond appeared behind Yi Chen. A giant palm with unparalleled spiritual energy pierced through the space in front of him. Boom, boom, boom. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Demon King Han Tian's great technique turned countless rocks into dust. However, the palm did not dissipate because of the collision and went straight for Han Tian. Seeing this scene, Demon King Han Tian was shocked. Demonic Source, absorb. Han Tian roared and released his ultimate technique. It was to transform his own energy and absorb the surrounding demonic source. He wanted to die together with Yi Fan. Ridiculous! Yi Chen saw through his trick at first glance. Spirit-stealing, life-destroying finger. Yi Chen's body moved in a blink of an eye. Using the celestial and demonic combination, it was a fatal move. Hiss! Blood splattered everywhere. Han Tian's throat was pierced and he died. Who's there? The battle attracted several demon kings to help, and they all rushed into the secret cave. Star-picking hand. Yi Chen knew he could not continue fighting. He used his great technique to get the divine marrow. Kill! With the divine marrow in hand, Yi Chen activated his celestial demon energy. Sky flipping seal, earth flipping seal, diamond seal, ocean flip seal, and various martial techniques were unleashed at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. Yi Chen retreated amidst the chaos. End of this chapter. Chapter 1770. Yi Chen had fought his way out of the encirclement by himself. He had obtained the Saint Marrow and could not stay any longer. Where do you think you're going? Stop that human. Kill. The battle cries continued. The surrounding demonic energy and spiritual energy kept surging, stirring the entire space and forming a shockwave that shook everything within 100 miles. Such a shock woke Dugu Ming and the rest up. What's going on? Dugu Ming asked. I don't know. Let's go out and take a look. Dugu Luo replied. Both of them went out and saw a shocking scene. Many demon emperors were fighting a single person. The demonic energy blotted out the sky like a ferocious beast that could devour everything. However, the person who was being besieged did not panic at all. In fact, he seemed to be at ease as he resisted the attacks of the demon emperors effortlessly. Ah! Dugu Ming and Dugu Luo were stunned. They did not expect the person who was fighting the demon emperors to be Dugu Han. The two of them were overwhelmed with shock. They were both wondering when Dugu Han had become so powerful. It was too outrageous. This Dugu Han is the human cultivator Yi Chen. Everyone, take him down. Suddenly, the furious voice of the demon emperors came from afar. What? Everyone was shocked. Dugu Han was the demon slayer Yi Chen who had devoured the mine. Now that he had reached the demon slayer stage, his speed of ascension was terrifying. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The demon emperors flew like the wind and chased after Yi Chen. You scoundrel, how dare you fight me? Yi Chen suddenly turned around like a ferocious tiger roaring in the forest. The powerful voice of spiritual energy shocked everyone present. Many demon emperors dared not move forward. Seeing this scene, Dugu Ming and the others all sucked in a breath of cold air. They could only lament that it was too powerful. Take down Yi Chen. The demon lord will reward you handsomely. A demon emperor suddenly shouted. I'll do it. Dugu Luo was so excited that he flew forward for the demon lord's reward. How dare an ant stop me? Yi Chen was enraged when he saw that it was Dugu Luo who came to kill him. How dare a piece of trash like him stop him? Yi Chen, don't be arrogant. Die. This time, Dugu Luo gathered all the demonic energy in his body into a single point. He wanted to take a gamble. As long as he could block Yi Fan's path and allow the demon emperors behind to subdue him, he would have made a great contribution. That way, he would definitely be rewarded. Underworld finger of destruction. Yi Chen shouted coldly. A cold gleam pierced through Dugu Luo's head. A violent wind blew in the surroundings, and the darkness surged. It was as if the gates of hell had been opened, and a ghost was leading the way. At this moment, the cold light penetrated through all of Dugu Luo's defenses as if it was an unstoppable place. Chi! A piercing sound rang out and a cold light pierced through. Dugu Luo was rooted to the spot. His pair of lifeless eyes instantly lost their focus, leaving only disbelief and fear as he fell into hell. Pooh! Fresh blood gushed out and splashed toward Dugu Ming. Dugu Ming's face was filled with Dugu Luo's blood. He stood rooted to the ground, completely dumbfounded. Kill! After killing Dugu Luo, Yi Chen was about to leave. Suddenly, several demon emperors behind him made their move. They joined forces to create a demonic energy formation to trap Yi Chen. Get lost! Yi Chen shouted in rage. His entire body was burning as he unleashed his most powerful true Samadhi fire. Hoo! The true fire set the prairie ablaze, burning everything. The magic energy gathered and dissipated in an instant. The surrounding space seemed to have fallen into a sea of flames. Countless demons were burned to ashes by the Samadhi true flame. Screams continuously rang out. This was the demon purgatory. Scary, scary. Duguming was dumbfounded. He looked at Yi Fan as if he was looking at a ghost. He almost wanted to kneel down and worship him. This child's talent is astonishing. We can't let him go. Otherwise, the human race will have such a genius, and he will be invincible in the future. You're right. This kid must be eliminated. Let's go together. Many demon emperors worked together and released their martial techniques, mystic arts, and secret arts at Yi Fan. Boom! Demonic energy rushed into the sky. Countless demon emperors worked together to form a giant demonic beast that charged at Yi Fan, wanting to devour him. You want to kill me with such divine power? Do you really think I'm the trash of the demon race? True Spirit 9 transformations, heaven-devouring roar. Rage rose from within Yi Chen. Hatred grew from his gut. Violence against violence, violence against violence. Rumble! Roar! The sky was torn apart and the ground shook for 10,000 miles. Yi Chen's figure disappeared, and a 1,000-foot-tall primordial beast appeared before everyone. Its sharp fangs were like steep cliffs, and its ferocious appearance shocked everyone present. Even the demon clan members felt uneasy, and they could not control their fear. Rumble! The sky-devouring centipede suddenly stood up and opened its mouth, roaring at the front. Endless air currents turned into the strongest sharp blade, instantly cutting the demonic beasts formed by the demon emperors into several pieces, shattering them on the spot. With such power, the demons were in danger. Who would dare to go against Yi Chen? Ha ha ha, trash! Yi Chen laughed out loud and flew away. Rumble! Heaven and earth shook. A majestic demonic energy condensed into a giant finger in the air. Its target was Yi Chen. Yi Chen's heart skipped a beat. He sensed the unprecedented power of this demonic energy. It was not something that the demon emperors could produce. This must be the arrival of a demon lord. Ah! Yi Chen activated his ancient god constitution. All the spiritual energy in his body surged and the earth grew. At this moment, he was a giant, a primordial demonic ape. Rumble! The giant finger descended and pressed down on Yi Chen. Kacha, kacha, kacha! Under Yi Chen's feet, the rocks crumbled inch by inch. His feet sank 3 feet into the ground. Cunning human cultivator, where do you think you're going? It was the demon lord's attack. Its power was overwhelming. Using his body to resist the demon lord's power, this kid must die. Great, it's Demon Lord Yuan Yi. Everything is settled this time. The demon emperors were overjoyed. Finally, they could end everything before them. The demonic energy shook Yi Chen's body. His meridians flowed backward and his qi and blood surged. Ordinary human cultivators would have exploded and died. Although Yi Chen was injured, he still withstood it. Kacha, kacha, kacha! The surrounding space shattered and a void countercurrent appeared. The demonic energy storm and the void countercurrent caused the entire space to change. Yi Chen's figure was instantly sucked in. At this moment, Demon Lord Yuan Yi revealed his true form. His eyes were locked on the void, ready to continue chasing after Yi Chen. Rumble! At this critical moment, heaven and earth shook again. A giant hand slapped down on Demon Lord Yuan Yi. Yuan Yi, your opponent is me. While everyone was still in shock, a handsome middle-aged man walked out. Demon Lord Yuan Yi's face was as dark as blood. He said coldly, Ancestor Skyfall, you trespassed into the rear of my demon race and caused the destruction of my Yuan Cha sacred waterfall. I want you to die without a complete corpse. Ha ha ha, scum of the demon clan. That's how it should be. The patriarch Skyfall laughed maniacally and responded coldly. Spiritual energy bloomed from his body, and the demonic realm rose again. Chapter 1771. When Yi Chen entered the Void Rift, the news shook the entire spirit realm. The three-body integration realm ancestors of the spirit world charged into the rear of the devil race and fought the 5 devil lords of the devil race. This was a major event that concerned the life and death of the entire spirit realm, yet it had been thrown into chaos by the appearance of a single person. This person's name was Yi Chen. He was a human cultivator who had infiltrated the Fiend tribe's rear alone and stolen the Fiend tribe's ultimate treasure, the primordial holy marrow. With his early void refinement realm cultivation base, he fought against many devil sovereigns and even killed many devil sovereigns and devil lord. In the end, the demon lord was forced to make a move, but he could only send him into the void crack, and it was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Such unprecedented news instantly caused countless people to be shocked. Whether it was the devils or the people from the spiritual realm, they dared not believe the news. In the spirit realm, everyone was discussing Yi Chen. You've heard, right? A human cultivator called Yi Chen charged into the demon clan's rear alone. He's only at void refinement stage. Even a body integration stage patriarch would have to travel in groups of 3 to get to the rear of the devilish army, and they were still trapped there. How dare a spatial tempering brat like him? This news has already spread throughout the demon and human territories. It shouldn't be fake. Even the patriarchs have come out to protect him. This person's magnificent feat is world-shaking. I really want to meet him and see what kind of genius he is. Everyone was looking forward to seeing Yi Chen's face. However, Yi Chen was thrown into the void by Demon Lord Yuan Yi. No one knew if he was dead or alive. For the demon race, they naturally hoped that he would die without a burial place, but for the human race, they hoped that he would be reborn and fight against the demon race. The commotion gradually died down. 3 days later, in the human-occupied green province of the spirit realm, amidst the mountains, smoke curled up in spirals, and a huge stronghold towered in the middle. At the foot of the mountain, the sounds of killing rang out as the bandits plundered. Kill, kill, ha ha! A tall, muscular man held a blood-red saber and chopped at the crowd as if he was chopping vegetables. He was incredibly skilled, and it was clear that he had plundered many merchant groups. Blood flowed like a river on the ground, flesh and blood splattered everywhere. It was an incomparably cruel scene. Boss, there's a lot of wealth this time, and there are even more beauties, ha ha! Very good. Bring all the beauties to the stronghold and load all the valuables into the car. Leave nothing behind, hee hee. Yes. Many bandits wielded crimson sabers, and the massacre continued. Spare me, spare me. Don't kill me. Countless screams reverberated through the forest, but no one came to save them. This was their fate. Finally, the sound stopped and everything became quiet. All the men in the caravan were killed, and a few young and beautiful girls were forcefully dragged into the mountains by the bandits. Within the stronghold, a banquet had already been prepared, and it was precisely to celebrate the success of this raid. Ha ha ha, boss, the harvest this time is really bountiful. A bandit held a bowl of wine and laughed heartily. Nonsense, we've been keeping an eye on this caravan for so long. If we don't get anything, wouldn't it be a waste of effort? The bandit leader grabbed a girl and poured a bowl of wine into her mouth. Woo woo woo. The girl struggled with all her might, but it was useless. Her weak body was nothing in front of the bandit leader's thick arms. Pah! Suddenly, the girl resisted and slapped the bandit leader's face. The eyes of the bandit leader turned cold, revealing a powerful killing intent. Drink, drink! The girl screamed continuously, but it was useless. She could only be forced to drink large amounts of medicinal wine. Ha ha ha, boss, you're so capable. The bandits all laughed. Humph, a slut like her needs medicinal wine to stimulate her appetite. Force yourself on her. With that, the bandit leader reached out and grabbed the girl. In an instant, her clothes were torn to shreds, revealing her soft and beautiful body. Good, good. The bandits all stuck their heads out to watch the show, some even drooling. The bandit leader grabbed the girl and hugged her in front of him, crazily exercising her. Rumble! At this moment, a huge tremor came from afar, as if something huge had landed in the stronghold. Boss, there's a situation. You're disturbing my mood, damn it. The bandit leader pushed the girl away, but she had already fainted from exhaustion. The bandits all came out to take a look and found a huge cave in the ground. It's a person, a bandit shouted. In the huge cave was a disheveled young man. His hair was disheveled, and his body was dirty and smelly. His eyes were closed, and he was unconscious. One of the bandits mustered his courage and walked up to check the young man's breathing. He turned to the bandit leader and said, "Boss, this person is still alive." The bandit leader looked at the young man in front of him with a frown. "Boss, this person's background is unknown, and his identity is a mystery. I think we should just kill him to prevent any future troubles." A bandit shouted. "That's right, kill him." Soon, the crowd agreed. A bandit walked toward the young man with a saber in hand. The blade gleamed coldly, and there was still fresh blood on it. Clack, clack, clack. As he got closer, it seemed to indicate that the young man was in danger. "Wait, what's this?" Just as the bandit was about to raise his saber, another bandit found a palm-sized bag on the young man's body. "Let me see if there's any silver." Just as he was about to open it, he realized that the bag was extremely hard. Slash! After trying a few times to no avail, the bandit flew into a rage and slashed with his saber, but it was useless. Invulnerable to blades and swords, impervious to fire and water? The man touched his head and said, "That's a treasure!" A bandit shouted. Everyone was overjoyed. They didn't expect that they would be able to obtain such a treasure from someone who was about to die. The bandit leader said, "If this person has such a treasure, he's definitely not an ordinary person. Killing him with a single slash would be letting him off too easily. Why don't we lock him up and interrogate him when he wakes up to see if there's anything more valuable?" "We understand." Everyone nodded. "Bring him along." Yes. 2 bandits received the order and came over to move the young man. "Io, what's going on? Why is he so heavy?" One of them shouted. "Yeah, what's going on?" The other bandit said. They didn't expect that the young man's body was still as heavy as Mount Tai. Let me do it." A bandit with a strong body came over, but he still didn't move the young man. Together. Left with no choice, everyone went up together. Finally, they carried the young man and walked toward the village. When they arrived at the village and put the young man down, everyone was surprised. Where did this person come from? He looked extraordinary. There's something strange about this kid. We can't underestimate him. Use the strongest chains to lock him up. The bandit leader said worriedly as he looked at the young man. Yes. A few subordinates quickly found Vajra chains and locked the young man's hands and feet before carrying him into the dark and damp dungeon. End of this chapter. Chapter 1772. There was no beauty in the dungeon at all. There was only water dripping from the rock walls onto the young man's body. "Let me go!" Ah! Night fell. The bandits above the dungeon were still celebrating. There were faint cries of women, sounds of resistance, and men's laughter. Suddenly, the young man opened his eyes in the dungeon. "What's this?" Yi Chen looked around as his consciousness gradually cleared. He recalled the scene when the Demon Lord attacked him. "Demon Lord Yuan Yi, I'll make you pay." He stood up and checked his body. He wanted to circulate his true origin energy, but he realized that it was difficult. It turned out that his true origin energy was drained from protecting his body, but his body did not suffer any other injuries. What is this place? Why am I here? Yi Chen was confused. He slowly approached the place where there was light. "Eighth brother, go see if that brat is awake." Suddenly, the bandit leader's voice came from above. "All right." The eighth brother responded and immediately walked down to the dungeon. Yi Chen smirked lightly. He seemed to have realized his situation. He had been put in a dungeon. Gotcha. He exerted force. Without circulating his true origin energy, the so-called sturdy chains shattered and fell to the ground. Thud, thud, thud. Footsteps were heard. Eighth brother walked down slowly. He was stunned to see what was happening before him. Not only did Yi Chen wake up, but none of the chains on him were there. Brat, you're awake. You're thinking about breaking out of prison? Eighth brother calmed himself down gradually. Anger filled his face as he charged at Yi Chen. You're courting death. Yi Chen locked his cold eyes on the person before him and was about to attack. Rumble! Loud noises came from the ground, calming Yi Chen down a little. He planned to find out what was going on. In the outside world, the duo flew to the village and started a massacre. You bandits should die on the spot. A young man came with a sword. The sword in his hand shone with a cold gleam like a cold moon. There was arrogance in between his brows. He looked at the bandits like they were grass. Who are you? How dare you break into my village? The bandit leader roared angrily and led the defeated bandits out to surround the two of them. Counterfeit, ha ha ha, this place will soon be your graveyard. The man's cold eyes locked onto the bandit leader in front of him, showing no mercy at all. Damn brat, go! Yes. Hearing the orders of the bandit chief, the crowd stepped forward, intending to crush the person before them into meat paste. Trash! The man shouted coldly. Sword light flickered, and sword chi swirled around 3,000 times. It was faster than the blink of an eye, and more than 10 bandits were beheaded on the spot, their blades falling to the ground. Seeing how powerful the opponent's sword chi was, the bandits in the back who still wanted to charge forward were all dumbfounded. Was he still human? He was practically a god. Junior sister, there's no need to be polite. Just kill them. Yes. The woman at the back also made a move at the same time, and the bandits fled in disarray upon seeing this. You want to leave? Not so easy. The young man coldly stared at the bandits and flew up. Sword light flowed like a cold crescent moon, instantly engulfing the entire area. Chi chi chi. Boundless sword chi flashed, creating countless crescent moons in the air, looking extremely strange. Instantly, the blood of countless mountain bandits splashed everywhere, and countless heads were cut off. Kill. The young man went straight for the bandit chief. Hero, spare me, spare me. Knowing that he couldn't escape, the bandit chief knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. You murderers and robbers dare to beg for mercy in front of me? Die. The young man's sword slashed down, and the sword chi swept across, sending the bandit chief's head flying into the air. Kill. Following that, a sword light shot straight for the bandit chief. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The bandit chief's head was smashed into countless pieces, like a watermelon meeting a bullet. It was extremely tragic. Seeing this scene, the bandits were stunned, almost unable to move. Run, run, we've met a god. The group of bandits fled frantically, but wherever the sword light went, there was no escape. Chi chi chi. Wherever the sword chi went, blood flowed like a river. Senior brother, why are you so ruthless? The woman asked. These bandits have done all kinds of evil. This is how they should be. The man replied coldly. Alright. The woman didn't say anything else, but looked towards a staircase on the ground. Senior brother, look over there. What's that? The man saw it and walked over with the woman. I think it's a dungeon. The man said. Alright, let's go down and take a look. The bandits might be hiding hostages down there. The duo walked to the dungeon together, wanting to see what exactly was hidden inside. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the dungeon, all sorts of noises came from above, shocking eighth brother. He ignored Yi Chen and turned around by instinct, wanting to go up and take a look. Chi. At that moment, a sword gleam flashed in front of him. Subsequently, a slicing sound was heard, and eighth brother was sliced into half. Thud, thud, thud. 2 young men and a young woman walked in. They were the people who had killed the bandits earlier. The one walking in front was a man. He wore a green shirt, had a tall body, and was rather handsome. The woman behind him had picturesque features. She was approximately 17 or 18 years old, and she saw Yi Chen immediately. "Humph, I can't believe there's one hiding here." The young man walked over directly when he saw Yi Chen. There was anger in his eyes. To him, anyone in this village must be a bandit. Yi Chen frowned. He steadied himself and was ready to take the attack. "Senior brother, don't act recklessly. This person isn't a bandit, but a mortal that the bandits kidnap." Just when the young man was about to attack, the woman behind him suddenly stopped him. Yi Chen thought to himself, these people might be cultivators. Where exactly am I? Yi Chen was still confused. After all, there was no light at all down there. It was the dark dungeon. At that moment, the young man walked over and looked at Yi Chen coldly. He said with arrogance, "You're lucky, lowly mortal. If not for my junior sister pleading for you, you'd be dead by my sword. Let's go." The woman behind him walked forward and said to Yi Chen gently. Yi Chen followed the 2 of them out of the dungeon without saying anything. He realized that there was a river of blood outside. The hundreds of bandits had been killed, and only the women who were kidnapped were still alive. "Thank you for saving our lives, deity." Many women walked up and knelt, expressing their gratitude. Get up, get up. We're not deities. We're just disciples of the Qingling sect," the woman said as she helped everyone up. The young man at the back was still cold and arrogant. Looking at the people kneeling, not only did he not let them get up, but he also revealed a look of disdain. The Qingling sect? Yi Chen's heart skipped a beat. It seemed like he had gotten out of the disaster zone. Chapter 1773. I'm very grateful that both of you saved my life. May I know your names? Yi Chen walked up and asked the young man and the lady calmly. My name is Zhenro. The lady's voice was soft as she stepped forward. And you are? Yi Chen asked. You don't deserve to know my name. The young man scoffed, ignoring Yi Chen's question. Yi Chen's eyes gleamed. This man was only on foundation building. Even if Yi Chen's spiritual power was depleted, killing him would be like killing a dog. Never had he thought that he would be so arrogant. Senior brother, he's just being nice. Why do you have to do this? The lady stepped forward and said. This is my senior brother, Song He. We're all disciples of the Qingling sect. Understood. Yi Chen nodded lightly. Subsequently, Zhenro distributed the bandits' money to everyone and sent them home. Yi Chen got 5 taels of silver too, so he had a good impression of Zhenro. After all, compared to Song He, Zhenro was much gentler. Yi Chen was secretly grateful. Although this lady's cultivation base isn't high, she's kind and warm-hearted. Yi Chen pretended to blend into the crowd and left with them. Whoosh whoosh. 2 sword gleams flashed across the sky. It was Zhenro and Song He who were flying on their swords. Seems like they've left. Yi Chen observed the sky and realized that there was no spiritual power aura. He returned to the village immediately to look for the storage bag that was taken. Yi Chen searched quickly after returning to the village. The true origin energy in his body was depleted, so he had to look for it on his own. It was slow, but there was something useful in the storage bag that he had to look for. Yi Chen found the storage bag after searching for a while. Spiritual power wave? While searching, Yi Chen accidentally found out that there was an underground river under the village. Search. Yi Chen's true origin energy was depleted, so it was impossible for him not to check. Thud, thud, thud. After entering the underground river quickly, Yi Chen realized that the environment was refreshing. It was completely different from the outside world. Although his true origin energy was depleted, Yi Chen's spiritual power sensing ability was still top-notch. he immediately sensed the exact location of the spiritual power. There's spiritual power indeed. Yi Chen followed it and found a corpse in front of him. This corpse had clearly passed away a long time ago, so it was impossible to tell who it was. However, there were many spirit stones scattered around it. Great! Yi Chen was overjoyed. Although the spirit stones in front of him were dim and only had pitifully weak remnants of spiritual energy, they were still valuable to Yi Chen. Devouring Rune. By relying on his previous cultivation in the Devil Realm, Yi Chen had completely adapted to the immortal demon rotation. With his genius comprehension ability, he could change the nature of the primary power in his body at any time. This alone was something that countless so-called geniuses could not learn in their entire lives. Zzz. The demonic patterns appeared, and the devouring power soared. The spirit stones started to jump. Bang bang bang! The spiritual energy soared into Yi Chen's body under the guidance of the demonic weave. With these leftovers, Yi Chen recovered some quintessential qi. Phew, I do have some strength now. Yi Chen took out the storage pouch and pointed it at the sky. Ming! An eagle's cry resounded in the sky as Goldie flew out. Xiao Jin was extremely excited to see Yi Chen. It ran over while yelling and hugged Yi Chen with its wings. It looked very friendly. You feathered beast, you're quite loyal. Yi Chen laughed and said, All right, spread your wings and take me out immediately. You must restrain your demonic energy. The situation here is unknown, so safety first. Thump, thump, thump. Xiao Jin kept flapping its wings and nodded its little head at Yi Chen, like a child nodding in approval. A smile appeared on Yi Chen's face. However, Xiao Jin's body shone with golden light. Following that, its body continued to expand, transforming into its true form, a giant golden eagle. Go! With light footsteps, Yi Chen flew up and rode the golden eagle straight into the sky. Along the way, strong winds swept by. The golden eagle went against the wind effortlessly. Yi Chen was overjoyed. Leaving the golden eagle behind was indeed useful. The golden eagle carried Yi Chen. The higher it flew, the more excited it became, as if it wanted to bring Yi Chen to see more scenery. We still have things to do. Stop fooling around and go down. Ming! The golden eagle let out a cry as if in response to Yi Chen. Then, it bent down and flew down. The strong wind rushed between its wings. Yi Chen felt very cool. However, the speed was extremely fast. He needed to maintain balance. After all, the quintessential qi in his body was limited. Whoosh! The golden eagle swept through the strong wind and landed in a remote place. Yi Chen took out his storage pouch, and Xiao Jin jumped in cooperatively. Ha! Very good! He smiled and quickly walked toward a city in the distance. As he approached, Yi Chen realized that this was a city of mortals. The spiritual energy inside was very weak, so there should be no almighties. After entering the city, Yi Chen used the silver he had obtained earlier to rest for a while. Then, he went to a tavern to ask about the local situation. A day later, after asking around, Yi Chen finally found some information about this place. This place was called the Azure Province, and it was the spiritual realm's human war zone. Yi Chen was overjoyed when he heard the news. As long as it was a human territory, he might be able to find the Patriarch of Hell and Yi Wushuang. After searching for a few days, Yi Chen wanted to see if he could get some spiritual energy from this city. However, he had overestimated this city of mortals. In the end, he did not find anything. The people here lived ordinary lives and did not know what cultivation was at all. Even explaining the concepts of spiritual energy, true origin energy, and so on to them was very difficult. In that case, it was better to find another way. Without the help of true origin energy, even the origin which holy marrow won't work. This is the top priority. Yi Chen knew very well that only with enough true origin energy could he absorb the origin which holy marrow and complete the final cultivation of the ancient god body. The ancient god body was one of Yi Chen's foundations. He had to cultivate it perfectly, or there would be endless troubles in the future. Looking at the city behind him, although he did not find true origin energy today, he chatted with ordinary people a lot. Seeing that they could live here peacefully and happily, Yi Chen felt a little emotional. The city of the human war zone was much better than the demon disaster area. In order to cultivate the ancient god body, Yi Chen had to leave this place. The place he wanted to go had to help him recover his true origin energy. Patriarch of Hell Wushuang, where are you guys? Yi Chen's heart was slightly moved. The three of them had been separated for a while. During this time, Yi Chen had been thinking that he might meet them on the way, but the result was disappointing. Chapter 1774. Yi Chen left the city and arrived outside the city. He looked around and realized that no one was there. Whoosh! He whistled, and Goldie flapped its wings and came out. Xiao Jin, let's go! Hearing its master's call, Xiao Jin immediately returned to its golden condor form. Yi Chen flew up. Whoosh! A strong gust of wind blew as Xiao Jin carried Yi Chen away. Ancient god body. Yi Chen was recovering his true origin energy now, and was waiting for the ancient god body to be mastered. Xiao Jin flew extremely fast. In a short while, they arrived at a deep mountain far away from the human settlement. On Xiao Jin's back, Yi Chen could sense that the spiritual energy here was good. Descend. Whoosh! Xiao Jin received the order and descended. Xiao Jin, now's the time to use your golden mouth's ability. Go! Thump, thump, thump. Xiao Jin flapped its wings frantically and rushed toward a mountain peak. Dong, dong, dong. It randomly pecked at the hard rock, and in a short while a huge cave dwelling appeared. Good job. Yi Chen was very satisfied. Arriving at the cave, Yi Chen began to set up the formation. This breakthrough was no small matter. No one could disturb him. Not only did he need Xiao Jin to protect him, but he also needed the protection of the formation. This double protection was what Yi Chen wanted. A bit of spiritual energy. The formation is divine. The spiritual energy in Yi Chen's body surged and the true origin energy in his meridians boiled. In a short while, Yi Chen used the human emperor holy pen to draw a formation on the ground. Buzz, buzz, buzz. With the infusion of true origin energy, the formation gradually hid into the ground and disappeared. Xiao Jin, you guard outside. Is that okay? Yi Chen said while patting Xiao Jin's head. Xiao Jin kept chirping, telling Yi Chen that it was okay. Yi Chen nodded slightly and turned around to enter the cave. One could not do that when it came to cultivation. Otherwise, things would become extremely troublesome when the time was over. Although Yi Chen had great luck, he had to understand this. Rumble! The huge rock fell and covered the cave's door perfectly. In the cave abode, Yi Chen sat cross-legged as he pondered, now that I've obtained the origin holy marrow, I only need to absorb it to cultivate the ancient god body. However, once I successfully cultivate the ancient god body, it means that I have to give up my original Dharmakaya. In this case, I can only walk the path of flesh to the extreme. This wasn't what Yi Fan wanted because there were many different types of martial cultivation. In the early stages, it was not impossible to find the right skill and cultivate it to the extreme. But in the later stages, the opponents were all great existences. They were well-read and cultivated countless cultivation methods, divine abilities, and secret technique. If one only relied on one skill to fight against such people, it would be like striking a rock with an egg. Yi Chen had cultivated for a long time, so he naturally knew this very well. Moreover, losing his avatar would have a huge impact on Yi Chen. He absolutely did not want this to happen. He shook his head and said, unless I can form a clone. In that case, the main body will cultivate the ancient god physique, while the clone will cultivate the spiritual spells. The main body and the clone will be able to switch or merge into one. This was the best way to deal with it. Not only could he cultivate the ancient god body, but he could also cultivate true origin spells. Origin Holy Marrow, today is the day you come into play. Yi Chen closed his eyes slightly and focused on sensing the primordial Holy Marrow's energy. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The origin Holy Marrow was driven by Yi Chen's mind and began to float in the air. It constantly released the light of water. This was the power of water. As time ticked by, Yi Chen's cultivation continued. The origin Holy Marrow was the essence of the entire demonic origin Holy Waterfall. One could imagine how much energy it contained. Since its demonic origin energy, I'll absorb it with the demonic weave. Yi Chen's mind moved and the immortal demonic weave operated, covering his body with demonic weave. After many cultivation sessions and entering void refinement stage, Yi Chen's demonic weave had been cultivated to Tier 9. This was a very high-level demonic weave. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The demonic weave released demonic energy. Instantly, the origin Holy Marrow sensed the demonic origin energy and quickly infused it into Yi Chen's body. After absorbing the energy of the origin Holy Marrow, Yi Chen immediately felt his 8 extraordinary meridians begin to operate. There was endless power flowing within. Rumble! As the power of water gradually entered his meridians, Yi Chen realized that the ancient god body was naturally awakening. The 4 elements, metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, began to operate on their own. This was because the ancient god body sensed that the element that completed its power was in front of it. It wanted to devour all the energy before it to perfect itself. The ancient god body contained Panga's godhead. It was extremely high and had its own spirituality. Rumble! Waves of violent energy circulated in Yi Chen's body. Xiao Jin stood guard for Yi Chen outside the cave. Time passed and a few days had passed. It was starting to worry about its master. It began to chirp, trying to get a response from Yi Chen, but it was futile. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Xiao Jin released the power of its bloodline. It sensed that Yi Chen's bloodline was still pulsating wildly. Only then did it hold back and did not rush into the cave. 5 days passed, 10 days passed, half a month passed. There was no time in cultivation. It only cared about success or failure. After a month, Xiao Jin's patience had reached its limit. Just when it was about to touch the boulder to see what was going on, the boulder suddenly collapsed. A dazzling radiance shot out from the cave. Person walked out. Xiao Jin wanted to hug him, but it felt that something was wrong when it tilted its head. The person looked similar to Yi Chen, but he was only 15 or 16 years old. He was an extremely young and handsome young man. The most surprising thing was that he did not have any cultivation base at all. Xiao Jin was surprised. It could not stop chirping around young Yi Chen, seemingly confused. At that moment, young Yi Chen smiled lightly. Idiot, this is my avatar. I'll stay here to cultivate the ancient god body. Remember to guard it well. After saying that, young Yi Chen flicked his sleeve and left with the wind. In Qingzhou, under the Qingling sect's mountain gate, a steep stone staircase that looked like a staircase led from the foot of the mountain to the peak. The staircase was extremely steep. There were many young men climbing it while gritting their teeth. Countless mortals at the foot of the mountain had fiery eyes. Today was the day that the Qingling sect recruited disciples every 3 years. The recruitment rules were set by themselves. They had to be under 16 years old and had a spiritual root. Suddenly, a white crane descended from the sky. The outer sect disciples knelt immediately. Greetings, Senior Sister Jin. Greetings, Senior Brother Song. Song, he asked about the recruitment. An outer sect disciple exclaimed, "This year's batch of people is too weak. More than half of them quit halfway through the staircase." Song, he mocked. "How can it be that easy to become an immortal?" Suddenly, Zhenro exclaimed, "Senior brother, look at that person. Why do I feel like I've seen him somewhere before?" Song, he followed her gaze. He saw a poor young man in linen clothes climbing the staircase while clenching his teeth halfway up the mountain. The young man looked somewhat similar to Yi Chen. Chapter 1775. Genro and Song He thought he looked familiar as they watched the young man climbing the mountain. They took a closer look, but could not recall where they had seen him before. After all, the young man was only 16 years old. It was impossible for them to connect him to Yi Chen. Yi Chen sensed a powerful pressure floating around him as he walked up the mountain. It was suppressing his way forward. There's something fishy about this. Yi Chen did not show any fear despite sensing the pressure. Instead, he was at ease. It was more interesting now. Where did this brat come from? Why does it feel like he's walking so easily? That's impossible. We can't even walk anymore. This brat. Damn it. Could this brat be a genius? Many of the youths looked jealous as they watched Yi Chen climb the mountain as if he was walking on flat ground. They wanted to catch up to Yi Chen to prove themselves, but they failed. Time passed by, and the people who were climbing the mountain began to charge forward. They gave their all to get a good ranking and leave a good impression on the Qingling sect's host. That way, the host might arrange for them to be an elder's disciple. What a bunch of trash! Yi Chen secretly scoffed as he looked at the people who were struggling to move forward despite giving their all. He was rather impatient with such a challenge. He was walking faster as he walked toward the top of the mountain. There were even many people who had left much earlier than him, and they were now lagging behind him. Damn it! What's wrong with this brat? Go after him! Many of the youths who thought they were talented tried to catch up to Yi Chen, but it was futile. Suddenly, a Qingling sect disciple shouted, "The ascending incense has burned out. Time's up. Those who haven't reached the top of the mountain have failed. Junior brothers, please settle them down and send them back later." Yes. Many outer sect disciples on Qi refinement stage answered and moved quickly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The Qi refinement stage disciples went down the mountain one after another. They carried those who failed to reach the top of the mountain and ran down the mountain. Many of the youths who failed were crying. They had waited for this moment for a long time and cultivated for a long time. Never had they thought that they would fail again. It was a heavy blow. Senior brother, please give us another chance. We can definitely do it. That's right. Please give us another chance. Many of the youths wanted to climb the mountain again, but the outer sect disciples did not care about that at all. They brought them down the mountain directly. At the top of the mountain, many people looked down at the situation at the foot of the mountain, and all of them revealed expressions of joy. As expected, we are still the best. We have finally succeeded. This time, we will definitely be able to join the Green Spirit sect. Yes, yes. Many of the youths were smiling, thinking that they had already succeeded. At this moment, a figure walked over. Song He looked at the crowd and sneered. "You have only passed the first trial of my Green Spirit sect. You are not considered disciples of the Green Spirit sect yet. Don't be happy too early." The expressions of the youths who were still laughing just a moment ago changed drastically. They had thought that they had succeeded, but it turned out that this was just the beginning. They all looked at Song He, hoping to get an answer. Song He said, "The second test is to test your spiritual root." Spirit root? Everyone was puzzled. As youths who had never cultivated before, they knew too little about cultivation. At this moment, a disciple of the Green Spirit sect walked over. Spiritual roots are the most basic requirement for cultivation. It is the threshold of cultivation. Without spiritual roots, one is destined to be immortal for the rest of his life. It is impossible for him to embark on the path of cultivation. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. Many of them were afraid of what would happen if they did not have spiritual root. There are many types of spiritual root. There are the 5 spiritual roots of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. Other than that, there are also mutated spiritual roots, such as the thunder spiritual root, the ice spiritual root, and so on. Yes. Everyone agreed, thinking to themselves that they definitely had spiritual root. "Come here quickly!" A disciple of the Green Spirit sect shouted, and everyone followed him. A testing ground appeared in front of them. There was even an elder there. Everyone was nervous. This is the place to test your spiritual root. Line up one by one. Yes. Everyone lined up and waited for the instructions of the disciple. There was a testing platform in front with a huge spiritual stone on it. This spiritual stone was an artifact used to test spiritual root. As long as the youths placed their hands on the spiritual stone, hiding their illness and persevering, the spiritual stone would test the attribute of their spiritual roots. The youths walked over one by one, waiting for their test. You come here. Yes. That youth's eyes were filled with anticipation. He placed his hand on the spiritual stone and waited for the result. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The spiritual stone gave off a weak glow, and the youth was stunned. Then, he tried his best to make the spiritual stone glow, but he still failed. Don't waste your energy. It's not up to you to decide. The disciple shouted coldly. Then, that youth was declared to have no spiritual roots at all. Ah, no, it's not like this, the youth cried. For this day, he had waited for 5 years and cultivated wholeheartedly every day. He didn't expect to have no spiritual roots in the end. What was this? Send him down. Yes. The outer sect disciple grabbed the youth and walked down the mountain. No matter how he struggled, it was useless. Next, 100 disciples were tested one by one, and some of them had spiritual root. Most of them had the 5 elemental spiritual roots of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. These were the most common spiritual root. Although they could cultivate, their talents were average. Among them, those who had 3 or 4 spiritual roots were quite talented. Those who had the 5 elemental spiritual roots of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth were very rare. Mutated spiritual roots? Suddenly, the disciple shouted. Everyone was shocked and looked towards the testing platform. At this moment, a young girl was tested to have the mutated ice spiritual root. She was very talented. This is unbelievable. She has a mutated spiritual root. This young girl is amazing. Everyone exclaimed. Even Song He and the rest were shocked because there were too few people like this. The news was reported immediately, shocking the Qingling sect. In the sky, the cry of a crane was heard. A supreme elder of the Qingling sect came riding on a crane. It was an old lady with the Taoist title Fairy Green Crane. Her cultivation base was at advanced nascent soul, and she was one of the 3 supreme elders of the Qingling sect. Seeing the arrival of the supreme elder, everyone was shocked. They didn't expect the mutated spiritual root to be so precious. Child, are you willing to be my disciple? Fairy Green Crane asked. Yes. The girl nodded and was taken away by Fairy Green Crane immediately. Everyone was envious. At this moment, Yi Chen walked up. The examiner was stunned. She didn't expect this brat to be so arrogant and walk up himself. Buzz, buzz, buzz. With a flash, Yi Chen had the 4 elemental spiritual roots of metal, wood, water, and fire. Useless. Many people looked at him in disdain, but no elder picked him. Chapter 1776. Brat, no one wants you. Hurry up and get down the mountain. The examiner shouted at Yi Chen. Yi Chen stood there without any intention of moving. His arrogance instantly angered the examinee. Who do you think you are? How dare you be so arrogant? The disciple wanted to teach Yi Chen a lesson, but he was suddenly stopped. What are you doing? Senior Sister Zhenro, go back. Yes. Zhenro walked over and looked at Yi Chen after the man left. I see that you are quite talented after coming up the mountain. Come with me. Yi Chen nodded lightly and followed Zhenro to her master, Taoist Master Blue Heart. Master, please take him in. Zhenro, this kid's spirit root is ordinary. Why do you think so highly of him? When he went up the mountain, Zhenro told Taoist Master Blueheart about Yi Fan's prowess at the top of the mountain. Taoist Master Blueheart shook his head slightly because cultivation still depended on one's spiritual root. Although Yi Chen's will was extraordinary, He was not a good seedling. Master, it's better to accept him. Sigh, you're too kind-hearted. Seeing how insistent her disciple was, Taoist Blue Heart couldn't refute her, so she agreed with a dark expression. What's your name? Gu Fan. Taoist Blue Heart nodded slightly and accepted him as a disciple. At the testing grounds, all the disciples without spiritual roots were sent back without exception. Those who have passed the spirit root test, come over here. Someone shouted. Go. Taoist Blue Heart said. Yes. Yi Chen nodded lightly. It seemed like although he had been accepted, he still had to participate in the last test. A disciple of the Green Spirit sect stood outside the array and scanned the crowd. The objective of this test is to find out if there are people from other sects that have infiltrated in, or if there are people who have enmity towards the Green Spirit sect. Once found, kill without mercy. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. However, they had waited for a long time to become a disciple of the Green Spirit sect. How could they turn back now? Everyone stepped into the formation. Zzz. Suddenly, the jade slip in the formation emitted a strange light, and one of them was locked on by the jade slip. That person revealed a horrified expression and wanted to escape. You want to leave? Song He's eyes turned cold, and his sword Qi shot out. Qi. The man's throat was pierced and he died on the spot. Everyone's hearts went cold when they saw this scene. They didn't expect the Azure Spirit sect to be so cruel. This test appeared extraordinarily cruel. However, Yi Fan was able to see through the mysteries of the array formation with just a glance. It was nothing more than using the cultivator's consciousness to correspond with the jade slip to determine if they passed or not. Yi Chen walked in the formation calmly, as if he was taking a stroll in the park. Look at that kid. He's actually not panicking at all. Just now, one of them was killed. Yeah, I don't even know what to do, so I don't dare to move. Many people were in disbelief when they saw how relaxed Yi Chen was. He did not look like a teenager at all. Yi Chen glanced at the crowd from the corner of his eyes. Subsequently, his eyes fixed on a jade slip. Come. He strode forward and grabbed the jade slip in an instant. Zzz. The jade slip emitted a faint glow. Yi Chen became one with his mind and immediately locked onto the glow. The jade slip did not move. It's just an ordinary jade slip. I thought you were powerful. That's right. His leisurely stroll just now was really laughable. This kind of person is just pretending. The people snickered when they saw Yi Chen grab an ordinary jade slip. Yi Chen ignored them and walked out of the formation directly. Outside the formation, Taoist Master Blue Heart nodded lightly. This disciple was mediocre to begin with. It was already fortunate that he got a jade slip. He did not embarrass her. Follow Zhenro to Blue Lotus Peak. Yes. Zhenro accepted the order. The people came over to call her senior sister one after another. Many disciples were blushing as they looked at Zhenro in a daze. After entering Blue Lotus Peak, Zhenro led the people to look for their own abode. Yi Chen also got his own abode. He looked around outside and realized that the abode was quiet. There was no other aura around. Subsequently, he probed around and realized that there was no formation. Clearly, nobody was watching him. Since it was a quiet place, it was beneficial for his cultivation and his goal this time. The people were elated. After working hard for a few years, they could finally enter the Qingling sect. To them, it was a great honor. It was the realization of their value. Many people surrounded Zhenro, asking all sorts of questions. They wanted to leave a good impression on her. Zhenro was a gentle person, so naturally, she would answer all the questions. However, Yi Chen was not interested. He had sensed something earlier, but he had no idea if it was in the Qingling sect. Yi Chen, come here. Zhenro shouted all of a sudden. Senior sister. Yi Chen walked over. People are asking all sorts of questions. Why are you walking alone? Zhenro asked. Senior sister, thank you for training me, but I like the quiet. Gu Fan, it's good to be quiet, but as a cultivator, you must be firm and try many things. You can't shut yourself in. I know that, senior sister. Yi Chen could not stop nodding. It seemed like this senior sister was a great person. She knew how to guide the younger generation. However, Yi Chen was not her junior. You guys must cultivate well. Don't be lazy. In a month, the sect will be holding an outer disciple trial. It's called the Secret Zone Trial. You guys must seize this opportunity. Yi Chen was secretly delighted to hear that. It was just as he expected. Subsequently, Zhenro left and Yi Chen returned to his abode. Sword qi swept through the entire space as he lifted his arm. Countless sword qi were hidden under the ground, and a formation was set up easily. Sitting on the stone platform, Yi Chen mumbled, "The Secret Zone Trial. It seems like the thing that I sensed earlier must be in the Qingling sect's secret zone." Yi Chen's body was still in the secret cave in the mountains. It was difficult to cultivate the ancient god body as he needed many natural treasures. One of the core items was called the Cold Spirit Ice Core. Its purpose was to freeze the blood in one's body. Otherwise, when the ancient god body was cultivated to a critical point, the blood in one's body would flow against the flow. One might even explode and die. It would be extremely dangerous. The ancient god body was created by heaven and earth. Not only would one need extraordinary talent to cultivate it, but one would also need the help of heaven and earth qi. Yi Chen dared not be careless. His real purpose of coming to the Qingling sect this time was not to be a disciple because his cultivation base had surpassed these people since a long time ago. His main purpose was to cultivate the ancient god body. Unless he obtained the Cold Spirit Ice Core, it would be difficult for him to cultivate the ancient god body. Yes, Qingling sect. Let's see if you're my lucky land. Yi Chen sensed the aura around him. Although the spiritual energy was not rich, it was great for him now. After all, he was a clone. There was still a gap between his ability and his real body. Cultivation was a must for him. He closed his eyes slowly and cultivated, waiting for the secret zone trial to arrive. Chapter 1777. In the next few days, Yi Chen had been cultivating in his cave abode. He did not leave at all. Such an action was very strange because everyone had just entered the Qingling sect. They could not wait to learn about the situation in the sect and cultivate various cultivation methods. Meanwhile, Yi Chen was the only one who shut himself away. Such a cultivation method could not help but cause everyone to be puzzled. In reality, to Yi Chen, there was nothing that caught his eye in the tiny Qingling sect. Have you guys heard? There's a guy called Gu Fan who locks himself up all the time and goes into closed-door cultivation every day. Everyone says that his brain is damaged from cultivating. Ha! Everyone is looking for senior brothers and sisters for help. This kid has no foundation at all. He's in seclusion like an old immortal. Isn't he courting death? This kid didn't look like a smart person when he first joined the sect. Now, he's finally showing his true colors. Many outer sect disciples were discussing among themselves. They were shocked at first, but later on, they thought that Yi Chen was a complete idiot. One day, in the main hall of the Green Spirit Sect Master, many Gold Core stage elders gathered together and bowed to Taoist Yunshan, who was sitting on a high position. The latter was the head of the Green Spirit sect. Today, Taoist Master Yunshan had gathered everyone for a meeting. Yi Chen's master, Taoist Master Blueheart, was among them. Everyone sat down and waited for Taoist Yunshan to speak. Taoist Master Yunshan waved his sleeve and said in a deep voice, "Elders, I've just received news that the High Sect has issued an edict. They want us to look for a person called Yi Chen closely." Everyone was puzzled by his words. What did he mean? Sect leader, who is this Yi Chen? How can he be valued by the High Sect? Someone asked curiously. The others had the same expression on their faces, hoping that Taoist Yunshan could give them an explanation. The Green Spirit sect was in the spirit state, a small sect within the Green Province. They were isolated from the outside world and had no idea what was happening in the outside world. Seeing everyone's expression, Taoist Yun Shan smiled. Subsequently, he took a deep breath and said solemnly, "Rumor has it that Yi Chen is a senior human cultivator of the spirit realm. His cultivation base has already reached the void refinement stage." A void training stage cultivator? Everyone was shocked. In their eyes, this kind of cultivation was already a super expert. In a small sect like the Green Spirit sect, even the Grand Elder was only at the perfected nascent soul stage. When encountering a spatial tempering stage cultivator, he would have to address him as senior. Don't be shocked, because the truly shocking thing has yet to come. Taoist Yun Shan continued when he saw the astonished crowd. Sect leader, what do you mean by this? If a void training stage cultivator isn't shocking enough, what did he do? The crowd asked. Taoist Yun Shan continued, this is a void training stage cultivator, so of course he wouldn't make the exalted sect so nervous. However, what if this cultivator entered the demon disaster area alone and caused a huge commotion? Not only did he take away the demon race's primordial essence, but he also killed the demon monarch and the demon emperor, forcing the demon lord to come personally? What? The devil master is going to deal with him personally. This is a deity. Hearing Taoist Yun Shan's description, everyone was excited to the extreme. They had never heard of anyone daring to enter the demonic disaster area alone. Even a great ancestor wouldn't do this, right? That's right. The first time I heard of this news, I had the same expression as all of you, disbelief. However, this is all true because this news came from the Euphoria Apex. The Euphoria Apex. One after another, the news shocked everyone. One should know that the Euphoria Apex was one of the top 3 sects in the spiritual realm. Rumor had it that the master of the Euphoria Apex, the blissful scholar, was proficient in dual cultivation with women. His cultivation base was infinitely close to the tribulation stage. If such an existence valued Yi Chen so much, what about them? The Devil Master is an existence comparable to a fusion stage great ancestor. It was the Devil Master who suppressed Senior Yi Chen with one palm. Ah! Senior Yi Chen suffered such a heavy blow. I'm afraid he's dead? Thinking of this, everyone sighed in regret. If such a genius died in the hands of the Devil Master, it would be a great loss to the human clan. Seeing that everyone's mood had instantly dropped, Taoist Yun Shan shook his head and continued. Everyone, this order came from the Euphoria Apex. One of the Almighty sensed that Senior Yi Chen is not dead. This is the reason why we're looking for him. Oh, that's great. Everyone was overjoyed. They did not expect that Yi Chen would not die after taking a blow from the Devil Master. Such talent was unprecedented. Sect leader, don't worry. We'll keep an eye out. We hope that Senior Yi Chen will appear soon so that we can return to the Euphoria Apex. Yes, Senior Yi Chen has such merit to fight against the Devil Master alone. Such courage is admirable. We'll definitely find Senior Yi Chen. After the meeting, everyone expressed their full cooperation in the search. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Just as the meeting ended and everyone was about to leave, the heaven and earth spiritual chi suddenly moved. Taoist Yun Shan flew out and saw the spiritual chi around him surging in one direction as if it was being forcibly sucked away. It was his first time seeing such a strange thing. This. Taoist Yun Shan turned pale with fright. He seemed to feel that something strange was happening. At the back of the mountain, where the Green Spirit sect's Grand Supreme Elder cultivated in seclusion. Rumble! The 3 elders woke up at the same time, their hearts pounding. A ruddy Supreme Elder said, "Why do I feel that the heaven and earth spiritual chi suddenly disappeared? It's like it was forcefully sucked away by someone?" Another Supreme Elder said with lingering fear. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The three of them appeared at the Qingling sect at the same time and happened to see Taoist Yun Shan and the others. Did you guys feel the fluctuation of spiritual qi? A Supreme Elder asked. Reporting to Supreme Elder, we did notice it, but we didn't find out what exactly happened, Taoist Yun Shan said. The three Supreme Elders sighed at the same time. Then, they released their powers and swept the entire place, trying to find the source. However, no matter what they did, they could not find any clues. I think we should go back. All right. The three of them left at the same time, leaving everyone looking at each other. Inside the inner sect disciples' cave abode, Song Hiku spat blood and said, I'm about to step into the mastery of foundation building. Why did the spiritual qi suddenly disappear? Senior brother, this. Everyone was shocked, but no one knew what was going on. At that moment, inside Yi Chen's cave abode, as he climbed to the west, his chest heaved up and down, and countless dragon-shaped spiritual auras entered his nose. As the saying went, spiritual qi came naturally when he breathed in and out. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Light bloomed from his eyes. Yi Chen stood up and felt that his clone's cultivation base had already stepped into foundation building. End of this chapter. Chapter 1778. He had caused a phenomenon by absorbing spiritual energy from heaven and earth by force. It would be bad if people found out that he was cultivating too fast. Therefore, Yi Chen hid his cultivation base at Spirit Assembly Stage 3. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Suddenly, the formation outside moved. Yi Chen knew that someone was here. His divine telekinesis was connected to the formation, so he noticed the intruder. It's her. Yi Chen had a strange expression on his face. He got up and walked out. It was the female inner disciple named Zhen Ro standing outside the cave. He had no idea why she was there. Yi Chen waved his hand to remove the formation and let her in. He said, Gu Fan greets senior sister Zhen Ro. Junior brother Gu, I heard that you've been in closed-door cultivation in the cave abode for the past half a month? Zhen Ro said while taking a good look at Yi Chen while frowning slightly. Yi Chen said while smiling, I'm not talented. I know that cultivation is difficult, so I've been working hard. Zhen Ro glanced at him in admiration and said while shaking her head, You can't do that. Cultivation isn't closed-door cultivation. I heard from my master that cultivation is about wealth, partners, methods, and places. Wealth comes first. The sect's function is to provide us with wealth, methods, and places. You need to go out and do sect missions to earn contribution points to exchange for cultivation methods and medicinal pills. Yi Chen smiled lightly and nodded in agreement. He was grateful. Never had he thought that Zhen Ro would care about his cultivation. People like that were rare in the sect. Yi Chen asked when he noticed that she was blushing and her breathing was unstable. Is there something wrong with your cultivation, senior sister? Zhen Ro said in between tears and laughter, I was cultivating earlier. I don't know why, but I felt that the spiritual energy in heaven and earth was gone. It's rare to see something like that. Besides me, the spiritual energy in the entire Qingling sect was sucked dry. Even the three supreme elders were alarmed by the phenomenon. They came out of closed-door cultivation to investigate, but they couldn't find out what the problem was. Yi Chen secretly smiled when he heard that. Naturally, he was the one who extracted the spiritual energy. To speed up his cultivation, he released the Taotai secret method to gather the spiritual energy around and absorb it completely. Such a secret method could greatly increase one's cultivation speed, but it would also cause a disturbance in the space around. The Supreme Elder said that some Almighty might have passed by our Qingling sect and absorbed the spiritual energy while breathing. Is that so? That's strange. Yi Chen chimed in. Zhen Ro revealed fear and said, If that's the case, you and I would have been in seclusion. Also, that senior didn't stay for long. Fortunately, he didn't touch our green spirit sect's spirit vein. Otherwise, my green spirit sect would have been destroyed. Zhenrou shook her head lightly when she saw the strange expression on Yi Chen's face. He might not understand what she was telling him. Forget it, junior brother Gu Fan. Let's go out and get to know our fellow disciples. It's much better than cultivating on your own in the cave abode. Yi Junior Gu Fan, since Yi Chen had just finished cultivating, he decided to go out for some fresh air. He was An and Yi. Yi was, they had and Yi had and had Yi and was Yi had. They had just entered the sect, so they were very enthusiastic about discussing martial arts. Many of them made long speeches to show off their talent in martial arts theory. Suddenly, many disciples appeared in front of them. However, they weren't discussing matters of cultivation. Instead, they were discussing something else. A disciple clicked his tongue and said, "Junior sister Dong Xian is indeed a genius. She's only been in the sect for half a month and she's already at spirit gathering stage level 5. I'm afraid she'll be able to reach foundation establishment within a month. There are differences between people. Junior sister Dong Xian has a variant ice spirit root, and she was even accepted as a direct disciple by the Grand Elder." Another person said enviously. Dong Xian was the lady who had entered the sect with Yi Chen and was tested to have an ice spiritual root. Now that she had been accepted as a disciple by the Grand Elder, she received all kinds of resources and her cultivation progressed at a tremendous pace. In the eyes of everyone, she was a genius girl. Yi Chen lifted his head and looked at the sky. He noticed that Dong Xian was cultivating the flying technique. This kind of technique was a movement technique, and it had an extremely high requirement for the cultivator's internal energy. Only with a stable heart and a smooth flow of true essence could one move around freely. Senior sister Dong Xian's aura is not very stable. Yi Chen said casually. Who is it? Hearing what Yi Chen said, many disciples turned around and glared at him coldly. There was a murderous gleam in their eyes as they expressed their dissatisfaction. Da. A few disciples rushed over and faced Yi Chen. Ha, what a joke. Isn't this the guy who cultivated until there's something wrong with his head? How dare he talk bad about junior sister Dong Xian here? Do you think you're worthy? One of them said to Yi Fan. That's right. Don't you have any talent points? You have the most common quadruple spiritual root, and you dare to criticize a genius with a variant ice spiritual root? Do you not know what your name is? Such a loser is so arrogant. It seems like he's going to be a loser for the rest of his life. The few disciples spoke loudly on purpose. It was clear that they wanted junior sister Dong Xian, who was cultivating in the sky, to hear them. That way they could win her favor. However, little did they know that Dong Xian did not care about them at all. She was cultivating on her own. Although that was the case, the few of them put in their best effort and kept mocking Yi Chen. How can you guys say that? Junior brother Gu Fan is also working hard on his cultivation. Going into closed-door cultivation is just a way of cultivation. It doesn't mean that he's useless, Zhenrou said. Senior sister Zhenrou, stop protecting him. He's just a loser. He'll only drag you down. That's right, senior sister. This guy is an arrogant troublemaker. He was like that when he tested his spiritual root. He really thinks that he's so powerful. He's just a normal spiritual root. The people mocked him again. Zhenrou felt helpless. After all, Yi Chen had been in closed-door cultivation ever since he entered the sect. Nobody knew how far he had cultivated. Nobody could tell from his aura now, as if he had no cultivation base at all. She could not help him at all. Junior brother Gu Fan, you should have come out and cultivated with them earlier. This might have been different if you built a good relationship with them, Zhenrou said. Senior sister Zhenrou, ignore them. They're just a bunch of useless people. Yi Chen stood with his arms behind his back. He looked like a master as he ignored the people's mockery. What? You're seeking death? The people were enraged. They swarmed over and surrounded Yi Chen. Haha, ants like you aren't worth my time. Yi Chen was fearless as he faced the people head-on. Go! The people were enraged and they were ready to attack. At that moment, Dong Xian's aura was unstable in the sky. She fell from the sky directly and was heading toward Yi Chen. The people were shocked and they retreated one after another. Yi Chen took a big step forward. His body was steady as he extended his arms. Chapter 1779. Seeing that Dong Xian was about to fall to the ground with unimaginable consequences, Yi Chen attacked without hesitation. He took a step forward with a steady body. He extended his arms and lifted them gently, grabbing Dong Xian's waist. The action was too intimate, so Dong Xian sensed it from the sky. However, her breathing was unstable, so she could not fight back as she fell from the sky. Junior sister Dong Xian, are you all right? Yi Chen asked. Everyone was stunned to see that, including Zhenrou. Dong Xian, the genius beauty who had awakened the mutated spiritual root, was taken in as the Grand Supreme Elder's disciple. However, she was caught by a loser. Not only that, but his arms were around her waist. It was an intimate action. Shameless! Dong Xian said nothing as soon as they landed. She turned around and slapped him, but Yi Chen grabbed her hand. What's the meaning of this, senior sister Dong? Yi Chen frowned. However, she merely glared at Yi Chen coldly and left in a huff. A cold gleam appeared between Yi Chen's brows. He had saved her, but she almost slapped him. What was going on? However, since everyone was there, he did not want to expose his character, so he acted like nothing had happened. Zhenrou said while frowning, "Why is this junior sister Dong Xian so unreasonable? She almost hit junior brother Gu. If junior brother Gu didn't save her, she would have been hurt. Not only is she not grateful, but she's also blaming junior brother Gu." It's alright, senior sister Zhenrou. Yi Chen shook his head to show that it was alright. Zhenrou spoke again. I'm afraid this junior sister Dong is a little too proud. It won't benefit her cultivation at all if this goes on. Ha, senior sister Zhenrou, why are you protecting a loser? That's right. How can a loser touch junior sister Dong Xian's body? He can't even do it to help junior sister. A loser is a loser. He can't be forgiven. Do you really want to save the damsel in distress? Unfortunately, she doesn't appreciate it at all. The people laughed after Dong Xian left and proceeded to mock Yi Chen. What are you guys doing? Don't you care about what's right or wrong? She shouted at the people while frowning in anger. After all, Zhenrou was their senior sister, and her strength was above theirs. If they were to anger her, the consequences would be unknown. They were all people who bullied the weak and feared the strong. Yi Chen did not take them seriously at all. At this moment, a gust of wind blew past. Taoist Blue Heart descended. Welcome, Taoist Blue Heart. Everyone bowed and greeted the Taoist. No need for formalities. Taoist Blue Heart waved his hand at them, and they all stood up, awaiting his orders. At that moment, Taoist Master Blue Heart suddenly looked at Yi Chen. Everyone was confused. Following this, the Taoist revealed a slight smile. He seemed a bit surprised, but also a bit pleased. Gu Fan, have you achieved spirit assembly? Yes. Yi Chen nodded lightly. What? Everyone was shocked. They had never seen that Yi Chen's cultivation base was so high. Zhenrou covered her mouth in disbelief. Junior brother Gu, why didn't you tell us that you've reached spirit assembly stage 3? Zhenrou asked. Such a trivial matter isn't worth mentioning. Yi Chen said. Those who mocked Yi Chen earlier lowered their heads. Never had they thought that Yi Chen's cultivation speed had reached such a level. One must know that even a genius like Dong Xian was only on spirit assembly stage 5. She was someone with an ice spiritual root. Now Yi Chen only had 4 spiritual root. How did he do it? Many disciples with 3 spiritual roots are looking for the feeling of qi, but junior brother Gu has already reached spirit assembly stage 3. That's ridiculous. Zhenrou could not help but exclaim. Taoist Blueheart looked at Yi Chen in confusion. When she first met Yi Chen, she thought that he was just an ordinary guy. There was nothing special about him. Moreover, there was nothing special about his 4 spiritual root. However, his current cultivation base was indeed on Spirit Assembly Stage 3. It was inexplicable. Gu Fan, did you have any fortuitous encounter? Taoist Blueheart asked. Well, Yi Chen acted mysterious. Tell us, junior brother Gu. Zhen Ro said. I found an orb in the spiritual well in the cave abode. I accidentally swallowed it, and I became like this. Yi Chen's words shocked everyone, making them feel strange. They looked at Taoist Blueheart. She was the only one who could explain it. Taoist Blueheart was shocked again. It seems like the orb you swallowed was a spiritual eye. No wonder your cultivation speed is so fast. Spiritual eye. Everyone looked at each other in shock. I didn't expect this guy to pick up a spiritual eye. That's strange. Sigh, why don't we have such good luck? Everyone was envious. They shook their heads and sighed. This is Gu Fan's own luck. Don't be envious, Taoist Blueheart said. I understand. Everyone agreed. Taoist Blueheart was overjoyed. She had thought that Yi Chen was a good-for-nothing who had no chance of success. However, it seemed like at least the luck that he had was something that others did not have. Perhaps, with this luck, Yi Chen could break through the limit of his talent. Subsequently, Taoist Blueheart said to everyone again, the reason why I asked you to come today is to remind you that the sect will have a secret zone trial in half a month. I hope that you guys will cultivate well and don't slack off. We understand. We will follow Master's instructions. Everyone bowed. Taoist Blueheart did not leave immediately. Everyone was puzzled. Under normal circumstances, Taoist Blueheart would not stay with them for such a long time. Many of you are rich and noble in the secular world. I hope that you can send a letter to the secular world and find a person for our Qingling sect. Unexpectedly, Taoist Blueheart wanted them to find someone. Everyone was very enthusiastic, hoping to find some sense of existence before the Taoist Blueheart did. Master, may I ask who you're looking for? Someone asked. This person's name is Yi Chen. He's a super genius cultivator in our spiritual realm. Yi Chen? Everyone was stunned. They had never heard of this name before. Our Qingling sect is located in a remote place. It's normal that you haven't heard of him. However, you must remember his deeds and use them to train your willpower and pave the way for your future cultivation. Master, what deeds does he have? Everyone was surprised. This person is a void refinement expert. He entered the demon disaster area alone and fought against the demon tribe. He killed countless demon lords and even demon emperors. Only the demon lord could suppress him. Demon Slayer Lord, Demon Emperor and Demon Lord. For a moment, everyone exclaimed in unison, their bodies filled with excitement. That's right. This person's strength, courage, and talent are all at the top of the human race. We must find him. Yes. Don't worry, Master. We'll definitely do our best to find such an important person. Everyone promised that they would do their best. Yi Chen's heart skipped a beat. He did not know how the Qingling sect knew. P.S. I've caught a cold. There's only one update today. I hope everyone can understand. Although there aren't many updates this month, I haven't stopped updating. The updates are still stable. Chapter 1780. In the following half a month, there were more and more legends about Yi Chen in the Qingling sect. The people walking on the road, the people cultivating in the training field, and the people they met were all talking about Yi Chen. You all know that a magical person called Yi Chen has appeared in our spirit realm. He broke into the tiger's den alone and fought the demon lord. Of course, Elder Blueheart and the others personally issued a search order. That's incredible. He can kill the demon lord and fight the demon lord at void refinement stage. Such talent is extremely rare in the entire spirit realm, right? I heard that he survived the Demon Lord. This is not only talent but also super luck. It's related to the heavenly Tao. It's not something we can discuss. Everyone expressed their opinions one after another. Apart from admiration and amazement, there was also respect for Yi Chun. One must know that even the three great patriarchs working together would find it difficult to escape from the demon disaster area. Yi Chun, a void refinement stage cultivator, dared to do this. It was too exaggerated. We've cultivated for hundreds of years, but we're not as powerful as someone who's cultivated for decades. What's the meaning of this? This is heaven's will. It's not something we can discuss. Whoever can find Yi Chun will definitely be heavily rewarded. However, such a person comes and goes. It's not that easy to find him. As long as he's still in the spirit realm, we can find him. Such a person is the pillar of the human race. We have hope. Yes, we have hope. Everyone smiled. With such a human prodigy appearing out of nowhere, it was not impossible to fight against the demon clan. All kinds of news spread outside. Yi Chun had been in closed-door cultivation. He did not want these trivial matters to disturb his cultivation. He was a clone of his main body and his foundation was too weak. At this moment, recovering his cultivation base was what he needed to do. Everything else was not important. In the cave, Yi Chun sat cross-legged, immersed in the state of absorbing spiritual energy. Now that his devouring mageweth had been cultivated to Tier 9, the speed at which he absorbed the surrounding spiritual energy was too fast. As a result, the strange things in the Qingling sect became even stranger. In order to break through his limit, Yi Chun used the Tier 9 magic rune to absorb spiritual qi. At this rate, the spiritual qi in the surrounding space could not keep up. As a result, Yi Chun began to forcibly draw in spiritual qi from other spaces. At that moment, Yi Chun's cave abode became the center of spiritual energy in the entire Qingling sect. As Yi Chun was a new outer disciple, he did not have much of a presence to begin with. In addition, Yi Chun's incident in the demon tribe had caused quite a stir. Why would anyone care about this person who went by the pseudonym Gu Fan? Naturally, since Yi Chun had broken through to the third level of spirit assembly using Gu Fan's identity, some people were discussing it. However, compared to what Yi Chun had done in the demon tribe, it was like heaven and earth. That fool is still in seclusion, ha ha. Humph, do you really think you're invincible just because you broke through to LV3 of the spirit assembly state? The limitations of one's own innate talent are obvious. That spirit root of his is simply trash. There's a huge gap between him and us. That's right. What's the point of working hard with such a talent? He might as well cultivate with the others. He might be able to comprehend something. What an idiot. Isn't it obvious? Such a person wants to seal himself off to cover his incompetence. What a joke. The people were filled with disdain toward Gu Fan. However, the heaven and earth spiritual energy in the Qingling sect had been moving strangely recently. The people, including the elders, were puzzled. The biggest problem was that the spiritual qi of heaven and earth would dry up every once in a while, and then it would return to normal, and then it would dry up again. This kind of thing was too strange, and no one could find out the truth. The day of the Qingling sect's competition arrived. In the cave abode, Yi Chun's eyes were releasing a golden gleam. He looked like a Buddha who had descended to the world or a god who had descended to the mortal world. Throughout the half a month, he had absorbed the heaven and earth spiritual energy many times to replenish his foundation. His cultivation base had broken through, and he had arrived at golden core. Dong, dong, dong. The bell in the Qingling sect rumbled as many disciples gathered. On the square, all the great elders had arrived. Whoosh! Suddenly, a cyclone appeared in the sky, shocking everyone. Who's that? I think it's Junior Sister Dong. Then, the sky was filled with colorful clouds. The Supreme Elder Crane Deity appeared with Dong Xian. Taoist Yunshan was pleased to see this. he said, Dong Xian has awakened the ice spiritual root. She is indeed talented. She has reached the foundation establishment realm in less than a month. It's a blessing. Senior brother sect leader is right. It's a blessing for the Qingling sect. The other elders agreed. At this moment, Crane Deity brought Dong Xian to the front of the crowd. Welcome, Crane Deity. Everyone bowed and saluted. Many disciples looked at Dong Xian in awe. Firstly, it was her talent, and secondly, it was her beauty. Dong Xian's temperament had changed drastically. She looked like a real fairy. This kind of talent and appearance caused countless cultivators to sigh in admiration, envy, and their hearts to stir. Disciples, today is a very important day. It's the day of the Qingling sect's outer disciple competition. All the new outer disciples must participate in it. You will be led by your respective masters to the icy secret realm. Oh, the secret land of ice. Just hearing about it gives me a feeling of coldness. This time I have to get serious. That's right. Whether or not I can gain a foothold in the sect will depend on my performance this time. I must succeed in this trip to the secret realm. I wonder how many treasures there are in there. Once I get it, it will be beneficial to my cultivation and future. I must get it. The crowd rubbed their fists. They were full of anticipation for the secret realm. Senior brother sect leader, I have other things to do. Dong Xian will be led by Taoist Blue Heart to participate in the secret realm. Crane Deity said. Yes, Crane Deity. No problem. Taoist Yun Shan nodded slightly. Crane Deity walked to Dong Xian and reminded her before leaving. At this moment, Yi Chen appeared with Taoist Blue Heart. Dong Xian's expression was cold as she walked to Yi Chen's side. She then glared at Yi Chen coldly. Clearly, she still held a grudge against Yi Chen for holding her waist with his arms. She thought that Yi Chen had taken advantage of her. Yi Chen naturally knew what the girl was thinking. However, he was a powerful person. How could he lower himself to the same level as a junior? Everyone, let's go. Taoist Yun Shan ordered and everyone set off. Yi Chen looked ahead. He did not care about Dong Xian at all. He followed Taoist Blue Heart. Get on the spirit boat, Taoist Blue Heart said. Yes. The disciples agreed and got on the spirit boat. Chapter 1781. Everyone sat on the spirit boat and passed through countless mountains. It was Yi Chen's first time witnessing the vastness of Qingzhou. About 4 hours later, a snow-capped mountain came into view. The secret ice realm was located on a snowy peak. It was extremely steep, and it was extremely difficult to enter it. Everyone got off the spirit boat and followed Taoist Master Blue Heart. The snow-capped mountain towered into the sky like a pillar that supported the heavens. The surrounding spiritual energy was abundant and Yi Chen could sense the spiritual energy flowing rapidly. He could even absorb a large amount of spiritual energy from the surrounding environment. Of course, to hide his absorption ability, he did not do that. After all, he had recovered to golden core and had a basic foundation. It would not be a problem for him to go through the secret realm. Even if something went wrong, Yi Chen believed that the spiritual energy density would be much higher than outside after entering the secret realm. Mountains surrounded the snowy peak, and at the foot of the snowy peak there was a vast field. Now it was already crowded with people, figures everywhere. Yi Chen looked at the field and realized that many cultivators were wearing different clothes. They seemed to be from different sections. Junior Brother Gu, they're from other sections. There's the Beast Taming sect, the Elixir River sect, the Fiery Sun sect, and so on. Zhenrou noticed Yi Chen's doubt, so she explained to him. The Qingling sect and the Beast Taming sect are known as the 4 major sects of Qingzhou. The Frost Secret Realm doesn't belong to the Qingling sect alone. Instead, it's shared by the 4 major sections. When we enter, we won't only be fighting against the disciples of the sects, but also against the other sections. Yi Chen nodded lightly when he heard this. Things had become much more complicated. He might have to modify his previous plan. However, No matter what difficulties he encountered, he would never back down for the cultivation of the ancient god body. At that moment, Taoist Master Blueheart came over. She had a smile on her face and was very gentle to everyone. In such a sex arena, what everyone needed was confidence. She added, "There are many natural treasures inside the secret realm. They are all treasures that can help you break through to the next realm. Your mission is to use Gu Ping's methods to collect and fight for these treasures, and then come back safely. Whoever obtains the most treasures will be the champion of the competition, and they will be rewarded with foundation building pills and other rewards." Foundation establishment pills? Hearing this reward, everyone's eyes turned red. A treasure that could help a cultivator enter the foundation establishment realm was something they naturally wanted. Of course, this kind of reward was not worth mentioning to Yi Fan. Dong Xian, who had reached the foundation realm, was also quite disdainful of this kind of reward. When the others saw this, they all gasped in surprise. As expected, Dong Xian had already reached the foundation establishment realm and was far ahead of them. There was no need for her to fight for such a reward. However, when they looked at Yi Chen, they realized that Yi Chen was also very disdainful. That was a problem. Gu Fan, your expression didn't change at all when you heard about the reward of the foundation establishment pill. What do you mean? Are you looking down on the foundation establishment pill? A hostage asked. Haha, to be honest, I still look down on you, Yi Chen replied with a smile. What did you say? Foundation building pills are treasures to us. You, a trash with 4 spiritual roots, actually said that you look down on foundation building pills. Are you saying that we are all idiots? Right, you actually dared to mock us in secret. You deserve death. You're in closed-door cultivation every day. Why don't you show us what you're capable of? How dare you be so arrogant? The people targeted Yi Chen and even wanted to fight. After all, to them, Yi Chen was disdainful of such precious foundation establishment pills. It was completely unacceptable. Dong Xian, who was standing aside, scoffed too. To her, a trash like Yi Chen needed the foundation establishment pills the most. What's with all the noise? Taoist Master Blueheart scolded. Yes. The people retreated one after another. We're facing enemies from other sects, yet you guys are fighting among yourselves. It's just a reward of the foundation establishment pill. Whether you look up to it or not, that's your problem. There's no need to discuss it. But Gu Fan, shut up. Taoist Master Blueheart was furious. Nobody dared to speak anymore. At that moment, the 4 sects had gathered. Core formation elders appeared, and they were the leaders. Thud, thud, thud. As soon as the people calmed down, footsteps were heard. Yi Chen looked forward. Before the person arrived, he already sensed that there was something wrong with the footstep. There was a hidden sharpness in the footstep. The person walking before them was an old man with a sinister expression. He revealed a disdainful smirk as soon as he saw Yi Chen and the rest. Io, isn't this the Qingling sect? Why did I hear you guys fighting among yourselves? Ah! The man guffawed with obvious mockery. The people from the Imperial Beast sect have no right to interfere with our business. Taoist Master Blueheart stepped forward and scolded. You still have the cheek to say that? The Qingling sect is just a foil in the battle between the 4 sections. Weren't you last place last year? Ah! The Imperial Beast sect isn't any better. You're just slightly more powerful than us. Being slightly more powerful is still powerful. The Qingling sect should just disband. What did you say? Taoist Master Blueheart took a step forward and released his aura. The Imperial Beast sect's elder released his aura too. Both parties were at each other's throats. Why is that? Yi Chen asked. Jinro shook her head and explained, the Qingling sect and the Imperial Beast sect have always been at odds. Their disciples have fought many times, and there have even been casualties. Therefore, they're always at each other's throat. I see. Yi Chen nodded. Just when both parties were about to fight, a core formation elder from the Pill River sect stepped forward to ease the atmosphere. He said, "All right, both of you. It's inappropriate for you to be arguing in front of so many junior disciples." "Humph." Taoist Master Blueheart scoffed coldly and returned to the Qingling sect's side. "Ha ha ha, I can't be bothered to argue with a woman." With that, the Imperial Beast sect's elder left as well. After both parties separated, the Pill River sect's elder walked toward the Qingling sect's side. He looked at Taoist Master Blueheart and asked, "Taoist Master Blueheart, I heard that your sect has accepted a genius disciple with a mutated ice spiritual root. Is that true?" As soon as he said that, the people from the other two sects were shocked and looked at Taoist Master Blueheart at the same time. Taoist Master Blueheart raised his brows slightly, feeling elated. He said with a smile, "Dong Xian, aren't you going to come out and meet the elders of each sect?" "Yes." Dong Xian stepped forward and stood in front of everyone. "Ha, she's extraordinary indeed. Not only is her talent outstanding, but she's also extremely beautiful. The Qingling sect is going to rise," the Pill River sect's elder praised. I wouldn't dare," Taoist Master Blueheart replied. However, the Imperial Beast sect's elder was not jealous. Instead, he scoffed and said, "My sect also has a disciple with a mutated thunder spiritual root. Lei Can, come out and meet the elders." A handsome young man in black stood out and bowed. Greed flashed through his eyes when he looked at Dong Xian and Jinro. Many cultivators were shocked to see him. Heroes come from the young indeed. If that's the case, let's open the secret zone. The elders of the four sects unsealed the secret zone together. Yi Chen, Dong Xian, and the rest entered. Chapter 1782. The elders removed the seal on the secret realm, and everyone was arranged to go to the cave entrance. Be careful when you enter the secret realm. After the elders gave their instructions, everyone entered the secret realm one after another. Yi Chen felt the world spinning as soon as he stepped into the secret realm. The scenery around him was changing rapidly. It was an automatic effect of the Frost Secret Realm's restriction. It would send people to random places in the secret realm. The scenery suddenly stopped. Yi Chen felt a void under his feet as if a black hole had appeared. What's going on? He suddenly realized that it was a bottomless cliff under his feet. Go! Energy swept through Yi Chen's body and sent it to the surrounding cliff. He returned to a safe place. Sigh, what a joke. Doesn't the person who designed the restriction treat cultivators like humans? If not for my strong foundation, this cliff could have killed a cultivator. Unbelievable. He forced a smile and shook his head. He then walked to the top of the cliff. A wave of spiritual energy came, making Yi Chen stop walking. He looked to the side and found a spirit serpent herb. Low-level spirit serpent herb. I thought it was something else. Yi Chen was disappointed. He continued walking to the top of the cliff. However, he suddenly felt a cold wind behind him when he was halfway there. The guardian beast of the spirit serpent herb attacked him because he was passing by. A giant python flew out from the bottom of the cliff and attacked Yi Chen directly. Whoosh! Yi Chen moved instantly and dodged the attack. The giant boulder cracked and the giant python stretched its neck to look at him. The giant python flicked its tongue and its gaze was extremely cold. Its massive body had a powerful suppressive force. However, it had picked the wrong target to provoke. How dare a little creature provoke me? You're seeking death. The sharp blade in Yi Chen's hand was unsheathed and a cold gleam shot out. It was the flying blade transformed by the immortal slaying flying dagger. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The flying blade spun and the energy was unstoppable. It was like a knife cutting tofu and the giant python was cut into pieces. Yi Chen did not even turn to look at it. He walked to the top of the cliff directly. When he arrived at the top of the cliff, he saw a lush forest. The forest was dark and there were faint roars of wild beasts. Yi Chen scanned his surroundings. All sorts of information entered his mind, and he had a basic understanding of the place. Then, he continued to move forward. This time, he wanted to find the ice spirit's core, and he couldn't waste any more time. After walking for less than a moment, Yi Chen sensed a battle aura. So. Yi Chen flew away like a gust of wind and arrived on top of a huge ancient tree. He saw two people fighting in the valley. His eyes flashed as he scanned the surroundings. He immediately found the reason for the dispute between the two. Sky spirit grass. Not far from the two of them, a heavenly spirit grass was shining brightly. The duo was a man and a lady. Their cultivation base was around level 5 spirit assembly, so Yi Chen thought nothing of them. Judging by their attire, this man should be from the beast taming sect while the woman is from the Pill River sect. Yi Chen watched the battle between the two and did not attack rashly. After all, this had nothing to do with him. On the battlefield, the two of them were very close in cultivation. However, the Beast Control Sect member had a giant python at level 5 spirit gathering with him, which changed the situation of the battle. Ha ha ha, junior sister, you're no match for me. Why don't you leave now? The Beast Control Sect member said with a smile. Humph, what are you capable of? I must get this heavenly spirit grass. The lady from the Pill River sect was unwilling to give up and wanted to fight. You really don't know what's good for you. The Beast Control Sect member had a cold look in his eyes as he controlled the giant python and attacked together. While the giant python was using the lady to fight against the Beast Control Sect member, it swung its tail at the lady's lower abdomen. The powerful force made the lady unable to block it at all. She was flung hundreds of meters away and was in great pain. Blood kept flowing out of her mouth. She did not expect the other party to be so ruthless. In that case, not only would she not get the heavenly spirit grass, she might even lose her life. Ha ha ha! The Beast Control Sect member laughed out loud and picked up the heavenly spirit grass. At that moment, Yi Chen passed by and ignored the two of them. However, when the lady from the Pill River sect saw Yi Chen, she was excited as if she had seen a life-saving straw. Senior brother from the Azure Spirit sect, I'm Song Shuling from the Pill River sect. Please save my life. I'll definitely repay you generously. The lady looked at Yi Chen affectionately, but Yi Chen did not seem to hear her. He was unwilling to interfere. After all, there was a risk of death in this secret zone trial. He could not save everyone he saw. Seeing that Yi Chen was about to leave, the woman's eyes were filled with despair. She knew that the people of the beast-controlling sect were ruthless characters. If Yi Fan left, she would not only have to face the heavenly spirit herb, but she might also lose her virginity. How could she bear such humiliation? Wait! At that moment, a cold voice came into Yi Chen's ears. Yi Chen's expression changed slightly, revealing a displeased expression. Hee, little junior brother, it's not good for you to leave just like that, is it? The Beast Control Sect member walked over and looked at Yi Chen with a fake smile. Yi Chen stopped in his tracks and turned to look at that person. He could tell at a glance what that person was thinking. He was afraid that Yi Chen would gossip if he left. Senior brother, is there anything else? Yi Chen asked. No, nothing. I just want to be friends with you. The Beast Control Sect member walked over slowly with a smile on his face. However, he did not know that he was walking step by step toward the abyss of death. The lady from the Pill River sect next to him revealed a horrified expression. She wanted to warn Yi Chen but did not dare to. If Yi Chen died, she would be a sitting duck. Ha ha ha! Just as the Beast Control Sect member was laughing sinisterly, a giant python suddenly appeared behind Yi Chen. It opened its huge mouth to attack Yi Chen. You're courting death. Yi Chen was furious. Initially, he did not want to meddle in other people's business, but now that he was involved, there was no need to say anything. He would kill it without mercy. Slash. However, there was a rapid slicing sound in midair. Instantly, blood splattered and the giant python was sliced into two. Seeing this, the beast control sect member turned pale with fright. He did not expect Yi Chen to be so powerful. The giant python's cultivation base was not weak. It was at level 5 spirit assembly, but Yi Chen could kill it without batting an eyelid. His strength was too powerful. Spare, spare. Just when the man was about to beg for his life, a brutal palm energy had arrived. Ah! He shrieked and died on the spot. What? Song Shuling could not help but be terrified upon seeing that. The reason being Yi Chen's ability was at least on level 8 spirit assembly, since he could kill a level 5 spirit assembly cultivator with a single attack. Meanwhile, Yi Chen had only joined the sect for less than a month. His talent was too terrifying. Sensing the killing intent in Yi Chen's eyes, she fell to the ground immediately. She said with fear in her eyes, "Senior brother, please spare me. I'll do anything. I'm even willing to give you my body." Chapter 1783. You're a smart man. Yi Chen walked over and said while looking at Song Shuling. "Senior brother, I'm willing to do anything. Please let me go." Song Shuling crawled to Yi Chen directly and said while hugging his leg, "Get lost." Yi Chen waved his sleeve and sent him flying. His expression was cold. Song Shuling screamed immediately, thinking that Yi Chen was going to kill her. "You don't need to be so frightened. As long as you let me place a restriction on your body, I will spare you. Of course, if you go out and speak nonsense, the restriction will be activated. You know the consequences." "Yes, yes." Song Shuling kept welcoming him, not daring to disobey. Yi Chen charged over in a stride and punched her abdomen. He had planted a seal in her body. This kind of restriction could be controlled at will. Once the woman violated her oath, her body would explode and she would die. "Let's go," Yi Chen said. "Thank you, senior brother, for sparing my life." Song Shuling thanked him and left. Yi Chen continued to search for the celestial spirit ice core. Only by finding it could Yi Chen successfully cultivate the ancient god body. This was the most important thing. Before he left, he put away the sky spirit grass. Although it was nothing to him, it was better than nothing. As he walked, he heard the howling of the night wolves. Yi Chen smelled a familiar scent. The beast-controlling sect again. Yi Chen's eyes gleamed coldly. He was ready to fight at any time. "Ha ha ha, you have the smell of heavenly spirit grass on you." As expected, the people from the beast-controlling sect leaped out of the forest and surrounded Yi Chen with 3 mystical beasts. "So what?" Yi Chen looked at that person coldly with disdain. You sure are arrogant. I can sense your cultivation, you're only in stage 3 spirit gathering. You want to survive here? What a joke. Spirit gathering stage 3, it's enough to kill you. What did you say? I'm a LV7 spirit gathering expert. You want to kill me? The people of the beast trainer sect were furious. They commanded the 3 wolf beasts to attack Yi Chen at the same time. At the moment of crisis, a graceful figure suddenly appeared. The sword chi swept out in all directions, killing 3 wolf beasts. Then, it gathered at one point and locked onto the people from the beast trainer sect. Chi. A single slash to the throat. There were no unnecessary movements, and it was extremely elegant. The people of the Imperial Beast sect fell to the ground and died on the spot. Yi Chen turned his head to look in shock. It was Dong Xian. Dong Xian was displeased when she saw Yi Chen's gaze. She said, "Trash, why did you come here to die when your cultivation base isn't high enough?" Although her voice was cold, her act of saving Yi Chen had proven everything. After all, she did not want Yi Chen to die here. Yi Chen was a little stunned. He did not expect Dong Xian, who hated him to death, to save him. There was some warmth in this desolate place. He was unruly and willful, but at least he knew how to help his fellow disciples. He was kind-hearted. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning swept over. "Be careful!" Yi Chen shouted. Humph! Dong Xian flew away and slashed apart the power of lightning with her sword. The person who had arrived was the genius of the beast control sect, Lei Can. He glanced at the scene and the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He then looked at Dong Xian with a troubled expression and said, "Junior sister Dong Xian, it's not good for you to kill the disciples of my imperial beast sect like this, is it?" He wanted to kill the people of my green spirit sect. That's why I attacked him. Dong Xian's pretty face was cold. Lei Can's expression turned terrible upon hearing that. He said, "You killed the disciples of my imperial beast sect just because of an outer sect disciple who just joined?" He stretched his arm and pointed at Yi Chen. "I'll give you a chance now. Give me the trash behind you, and I'll forgive you. Oh, by the way, the app that I've been using recently supports both Android and Apple phones." Thud, thud, thud. At that moment, many Green Spirit sect disciples arrived. Their expressions changed slightly upon hearing what Lei Can said. Someone walked to Dong Xian and said softly, "Junior sister Dong Xian, he's just an outer sect disciple who just joined. His spiritual root is useless. It's not worth it for him." A few female disciples came to persuade her. They hoped that Dong Xian would not anger Lei Can and bring trouble to everyone. "Junior sister Dong Xian, what do you think?" Lei Can asked while smiling proudly. Subsequently, Dong Xian said, "Humph, the people of the Green Spirit sect won't be bullied so easily. Lei Can, leave now." "What did you say?" Lei Can was enraged. As he scoffed, he attacked Yi Chen. Yi Chen was going to kill Lei Can, but Dong Xian stopped him before he could do anything. "Lei Can, you're too arrogant. You'll have to get past me if you want to kill the people of the Green Spirit sect." Dong Xian attacked and fought Lei Can. The people were shocked and retreated one after another. Both of them were geniuses with mutated spiritual root. Such a battle was extremely intense. Someone might die if they were caught in the shockwave. Nobody dared to get close to watch. However, Yi Chen was fearless. He watched from the side. The people were shocked. He secretly nodded as he watched. He had to admit that Dong Xian had a solid foundation. This brat isn't afraid of death. He'll definitely die if he's hit by the martial skill since he's so close to her. That's right. Such trash is stupid. Yi Chen ignored the people's discussion and watched the battle before him. Rapid thunder palm. Lei Can gathered the power of lightning from his entire body onto his hands. He kept throwing lightning palms at Dong Xian. At that moment, the space shook as the power of lightning came at him like a venomous python. "Humph!" Dong Xian scoffed and her aura exploded. She consolidated a frost shield before her to defend against the lightning palms. Bang, bang, bang. Both of them cancelled each other out. The impact shook the people. Damn it! Lei Can was enraged. He wanted to use his ultimate move. Similarly, Dong Xian did not want to waste time. Mysterious Ice Pearl. At the critical moment, Dong Xian released the supreme-grade magic tool that Taoist Master Blueheart had given her. Together with the ice sword, she defeated the enemy with one slash. "Ah!" Lei Can shrieked. He was defeated. "Junior sister Dong Xian, you're amazing." The people of the Green Spirit sect were shocked and cheered. At that moment, the ground shook all of a sudden. The secret zone was shaking intensely. Rumble! The ice river exploded on the peak. "Let's go!" Dong Xian shouted. However, someone said, "Look, what's that brat doing?" The people looked over. Not only was Yi Chen not running, but he was charging toward the ice storm instead. Everyone was shocked by his action. "Is he out of his mind?" someone shouted. Dong Xian's expression changed slightly. She flew up to stop him. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. However, just when she moved forward, the ice storm arrived. She could not fight it, so she could only retreat. Is this guy tired of living? Dong Xian was secretly shocked. She secretly scoffed as pity appeared on her face. After all, she was related to Yi Chen. In the next second, The ice storm swept through the entire space like a ferocious beast devouring everything. As the people watched in shock, Yi Chen's body was drowned in the ice storm. He was nowhere to be seen. Ha ha ha, junior sister Dong Xian, you saved him, but he doesn't appreciate it at all. He's seeking his own death. What an idiot! Lei Can laughed out loud. Dong Xian ignored him. She shook her head lightly, feeling sorry. The people of the Green Spirit sect shook their heads too. To be continued. Chapter 1784. Just when everyone thought that Yi Chen was dead, a figure stood still in the terrifying glacier tempest. It was Yi Chen. The surrounding was filled with violent cutting force. The frost was like a sharp blade that could cut through anything. However, in the central area, the snowstorm actually parted to form a path. This kind of miraculous scene was rarely seen in the world. Yi Chen's figure moved forward on the frozen path. After he passed through it, the frozen path was covered by the blizzard again, as if it had never appeared. Although he had passed through the blizzard, the frigid force around him could freeze even a nascent soul cultivator to death. However, it was useless against Yi Chen. Instead of being shocked, Yi Chen was elated when he entered the blizzard. He knew that the thing that he was looking for might be here. He walked towards the source of the power of extreme cold. As time passed, he could clearly sense that a powerful force was calling out to him. Meanwhile, Dong Xian and the rest who were outside the blizzard were feeling a little regretful because they thought that Yi Chen was dead for sure. Since the blizzard was so violent, they could only retreat. Is Gu Fan really dead? Someone asked. The people from the Qingling sect fell into silence. After all, Gu Fan had great talent. As a member of the Qingling sect, they were sad to see him die before them. He's dead, Dong Xian replied coldly. She had no idea why Yi Chen would enter the blizzard to die, but the truth was right before her eyes. Yi Chen was buried in the blizzard. Nobody could come out of that kind of blizzard alive. Ha ha, the tiny Qingling sect is already weak enough. Now there's an idiot who's going to die. You guys are really something. Lei Can could not help but laugh out loud when he saw Yi Fan entering the blizzard and dying. Lei Can, don't push your luck. Dong Xian was enraged as she scolded Lei Can. Although Yi Chen had offended her earlier, he was a member of the Qingling sect after all. It was unforgivable for an outsider to point fingers at his dead disciple and even talk nonsense. What is the Beast Trainer sect trying to do? Gu Fan is dead and you guys are still talking like that? That's right. The Beast Trainer sect is so domineering to joke around with a dead man. The dead should be respected. The Qingling sect won't let you guys do whatever you want. The people stood behind Dong Xian. At such a time, they had to stand together against the outsiders. Seeing the Green Spirit sect's attitude, Lei Can revealed a sinister expression. He walked to the front and looked at Dong Xian with a very invasive gaze. Moreover, his gaze constantly swept over Dong Xian's body. It could be said that he looked from top to bottom, from bottom to top, back and forth. Especially when it came to those towering sensitive parts, he even stuck out his tongue to size them up. Those with discerning eyes all knew what he was doing. Dong Xian was a genius of the school, but she was actually violated like this. Everyone from the Green Spirit School was furious. Lei Can, what are you doing? Close your dog eyes. Some disciples of the Green Spirit sect couldn't stand it anymore and scolded Lei Can. Lei Can was enraged. The lightning in his hand was about to be released, and a ball of lightning attacked the person from the Green Spirit sect. With a blood-curdling scream, the disciple of the Green Spirit sect was struck by the power of thunder and lightning, and fell unconscious on the spot. Do I need you to care what I want to see? Trash. Lei Can coldly snorted and cursed at the person on the ground. His actions had completely angered Dong Xian. Lei Can, don't push your luck. You humiliated me, humiliated the dead of my Green Spirit sect, and didn't even rest. You are simply scum. Scum? Good, ha ha ha, I want to be scum. Go, take down Dong Xian and you will be rewarded handsomely. Lei Can's evil heart was moved. He planned to use the overall strength of the Beast Control School to take down Dong Xian and make her his. Damn it! Dong Xian could no longer contain the anger in her heart. She didn't care about the rules anymore. She must teach Lei Can a lesson. Kill. Dong Xian held the black ice sword and attacked Lei Can. Just now, I accidentally let you succeed. Do you really think I can't beat you? Lei Can sneered and once again released his Thunder Divine ability. The surrounding space shook continuously. He released thunder and lightning into the ground to hide his moves while attacking Dong Xian with his own body. Kill. Dong Xian showed no fear. Such a scum must be killed. Clang, clang, clang. The two fought for dozens of rounds, but there was no clear winner. Ha ha ha, Dong Xian, you are definitely mine this time. Do you think you can still run? Get lost. Dong Xian held her sword and attacked again. Junior sister Dong Xian. The people of the Green Spirit sect were enraged and attacked one after another. You guys stop them. Yes, senior brother Lei Can. The people of the Beast Control sect all released their secret skills, and all kinds of poisonous insects and fierce beasts appeared. Seeing all kinds of poisonous insects and fierce beasts coming at them, the people of the Green Spirit sect turned pale with fright and retreated. Ha ha, a bunch of trash! The people of the Beast Control sect were even more unscrupulous. They controlled their poisonous insects to chase after them. For a moment, the people of the Green Spirit sect were no match for them at all. Dong Xian glanced at the battlefield and found that it was too late to turn back. The situation was very critical. Damn, these scum! She knew very well that a long battle was extremely disadvantageous to her, and she might even fall into the hands of Lei Can. She couldn't imagine what a miserable ending it would be if she fell into Lei Can's hands. Ice Heart Sutra, World Burial Frost. Dong Xian used the highest mental cultivation method taught by Crane Deity and used the black ice sword at the same time. Suddenly, the entire space was filled with ice and snow storms. Even Lei Can couldn't find Dong Xian. What's going on? Lei Can was anxious as he flew through the storm, but Dong Xian was long gone. At the same time, the storm continued to gather, pressing down on Lei Can's path. Damn, stupid girl, I will get you one day, ha ha ha. Lei Can was angry, he sneered, and he was hysterical. In the end, Dong Xian and the others escaped with the ice and snow storms. 4 hours later, the trial ended and everyone was teleported out. Outside the secret realm, the people of the 4 sects were all looking forward to the results of their sect's trials. The Taoist of the Beast Control sect was full of confidence, thinking that they would still be number 1. Taoist Blue Heart of the Green Spirit sect frowned slightly, not satisfied with this result. After all, the genius Dong Xian was here. Taoist Blue Heart, it seems like you are very confident in your sect. The Taoist of the Beast Control sect came over and said, Of course. Dong Xian is a rare talent in our sect. She will definitely succeed. What a joke. Doesn't our sect have Lei Can? The Taoist of the Beast Control sect looked at Taoist Blue Heart coldly and continued, Why don't we bet on a spiritual weapon and see the result? Why not? The two of them were at each other's throats. Just then, everyone appeared. End of this chapter. Chapter 1785. Everyone was interested in the bet between Taoist Gu Ye and Taoist Blue Heart, so they all came to watch. By then, everyone had been teleported back to their sections. The Beast Trainer sect and the Green Spirit sect were facing each other, standing behind their Taoists. They all knew the situation. This was a bet between the elders, and at the same time, it concerned the reputation of the two sections. Everyone was very cautious. Who do you think will win, the Green Spirit sect or the Beast Trainer sect? Haha, the Beast Trainer sect came first last time, while the Green Spirit sect came last. Who do you think will win? Yeah, although the Green Spirit sect has Dong Xian, the Beast Trainer sect has Lei Can. I think the Beast Trainer sect will still win this time. Everyone discussed with great interest. Just then, a Beast Trainer sect disciple at LV5 of the Spirit Gathering Realm walked out and handed over his storage pouch. He walked up and bowed. Elder, disciple has collected 10 low-grade spiritual herbs and 3 mid-grade spiritual herbs. Taoist Guya nodded slightly. With his strength, it was not bad to be able to collect so many spiritual herbs. Next. Yes. Another person from the Beast Trainer sect walked up and opened his storage pouch. Then, the elders of the other sects walked up and handed over their storage pouches. Everyone was very nervous. This was the time for ranking, and whoever had the most spiritual herbs and treasures would be the winner. The Green Spirit sect and the Beast Trainer sect were even more so. There was a bet between them, and it could completely represent the reputation of the two sections. Humph, Taoist Blueheart, I don't think your disciples are very good. Seeing that many of the storage pouches of the Green Spirit sect disciples did not even have a few mid-grade spiritual herbs, Taoist Guya sneered. What's the hurry? This is only the beginning. Taoist Blueheart replied coldly. Still so stubborn? Too bad, you're going to lose for sure. The result hasn't been decided yet, and you're already saying this. I think you've wasted your position as an elder. The result hadn't been decided yet, but the atmosphere was already very tense. This made the spectators very excited. They hoped that the atmosphere would be even more tense, and it would be best if a fight broke out. They were just here to watch the show. In this inventory activity, the people from the other sects seemed to have become the background. Everyone's focus was on the Beast Control sect and the Green Spirit sect. Of course, most people believed that the Beast Controlling sect would respond, because in terms of overall strength, the Beast Controlling sect was much more powerful. Unless Dong Xian of the Green Spirit sect could perform exceptionally well and find top-grade spiritual plants or natural treasures, it would be very difficult for her to turn the tables. As time passed, the Beast Trainer sect's overall advantage grew. The Beast Trainer sect elder's face revealed a disdainful sneer as he prepared to collect his own spiritual weapon. One had to know that this was a bet between elders, and the quality of the spirit tool was naturally high. They were extremely unwilling to lose to the other party. Ha, Taoist Blueheart, prepare your spirit artifact. Victory is mine. Taoist Guya said. Before the result is determined, please don't spout nonsense. Taoist Blueheart replied forcefully. Aya, you just don't want to admit your failure. No problem, we'll wait for the result. Taoist Guya knew that his opponent would not give up. Since that was the case, he would just have to wait for the result. In any case, he would definitely win. Finally, it was the turn of the Beast Trainer sect's genius, Lei Kan. Everyone instantly became nervous, because the amount of spiritual plants and treasures Lei Kan collected would largely determine the result of the bet. At this moment, even Taoist Guya was nervous. He stared at Lei Kan, hoping to get a response. Lei Kan smiled and nodded. Only then did the Beast Trainer sect elder relax. Lei Kan, come up and show us your results. Yes, elder. Lei Kan walked to the front and took out his storage bag. With a cold smile, he looked at Dong Xian, but she completely ignored him. Ha, how cold and aloof! He sneered. Then, he smiled proudly at Dong Xian and took out his result. I have collected 60 low-grade spiritual plants, 30 mid-grade spiritual plants, and 5 top-grade spiritual plants. Ah? Ha ha ha, this is unexpected. Lei Kan, you've done well. Taoist Guya was extremely excited. Previously, when he saw Lei Kan smile at him, he was relieved. However, he did not expect Lei Kan to have collected 5 top-grade spiritual plants. This was a shocking number. Compared to mid-grade spiritual plants, top-grade spiritual plants were much rarer. Normally, it would be difficult to collect 1 or 2. Lei Kan had collected 5 top-grade spiritual plants in one go. This was a terrifying number. I didn't expect Lei Kan to be so powerful. He actually collected 5 top-grade spiritual plants. The result is already set. Yeah, 5 top-grade spiritual plants. It's basically impossible to defeat him. Sigh, what a pity. Although Dong Xian has both beauty and talent, she will still suffer a loss against Lei Can. Everyone shook their heads. They were shocked for Lei Can, but at the same time they felt sorry for Dong Xian. After all, she was a beauty and was sought after by everyone. Seeing this result, even Taoist Blue Heart was nervous. She could feel the danger of failure. Dong Xian, your storage bag. Yes. Dong Xian walked up and bowed slightly to Taoist Blue Heart. Then, she took out her storage bag. I collected 40 low-grade spiritual plants, 13 mid-grade spiritual plants. Before she could finish, everyone laughed. She had collected quite a lot, but the quality was too low. She was basically going to lose. Lei Can, well done. You will definitely win this time. Taoist Guya patted Lei Can's shoulder. Thank you, Elder. Lei Can was equally excited. However, the next moment, Dong Xian's lips moved slightly. 1 supreme-grade spiritual plant, icicle grass. Immediately, everyone's laughter stopped. Supreme-grade spiritual plant, icicle grass. As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. The probability of collecting such a spiritual plant was too low. Lei Can was in disbelief. Taoist Guya was also stunned. The Dan River sect elder walked up and praised. This icicle grass is a supreme-grade spiritual plant. It is guarded by a beast no weaker than a mid-stage foundation establishment realm cultivator. It was not easy for Marshal Nisdong to collect it. Taoist Guya had no choice but to admit defeat. Everyone, the result has been decided. Dong Xian is the first to collect spiritual plants, and the Green Spirit sect is the champion of this trial. Lei Can was furious. He wanted to lash out, but he was stopped by Elder Guya. Sigh, I didn't expect Dong Xian to turn the tables for the Green Spirit sect. Damn it, damn it. Taoist Guya looked at Dong Xian. He was extremely jealous, thinking that it would be great if she was his disciple. After the trial was over, everyone left. At that moment, Zhen Ro walked up and stopped Dong Xian. Junior sister Dong, why didn't I see junior brother Gu Fan? Dong Xian's expression changed slightly. She turned around and looked at the secret realm with a complicated expression. Gu Fan died in the snowstorm, what? Zhen Ro turned pale with fright. She felt a sense of pity. End of the chapter.